Day will say S Corp, I'll say C Corp. We'll argue the point. They'll say double taxation. I'll say the reality is that's one thing. If you're profitable, until you're profitable, you're not taxable. Next thing will happen is they'll turn around and say, okay, the taxation for S and C. If you look at it, it's balanced. It's the same. Okay, this world is evil, it is mean, it is cruel, but God gave it to us. All right, your people around you, your friends and family, I hope they love you, they're great, but if you ever notice, they're the ones that hurt you the most. Anybody agree with that, yes or no? Yeah. So what we have to do is run our own circle. Do you understand that? Okay. When I got to be into karate when I was 4, at 4.5 years old, I'm roaming the streets, stealing out of the trash can, the pier, all the crappy stuff. We were down to the beach. There was a karate studio. I walked by 3 days in a row. Third day, a man yelled at me, came out, and we don't give blankety blank lessons for free. You can figure out your blankety blank, okay? If you want lessons, you get your blankety blank in there and you clean the F and F in place. Okay, so this is what I heard at 4 years old, okay? Reason I bring it up is because that changed my life. What you did at 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, that's who you are today. You are who you are today because of your past. Okay, it could be good, bad, and ugly, but you are who you are today. You will become your future, all right, as well. So as I'm cleaning the place, I did something I wasn't supposed to do. I listed the mats and I cleaned under the mats. I didn't know any better. I'm 4 years old, okay? So I'm folding the mats, I'm cleaning everything else, all right? And here comes the mean man going, what the are you doing moving the mats? They haven't been moved for 10 years. And it's like, I didn't say anything. At 4, you got to remember something. Me, I'm weird. I was a grown-up the day I was born. I learned to cook. I learned to clean. I did everything at 4 or 5 years old. So it's like, you could say I was 4. I learned to read 2.5. So again, weird. Teachers thought I was weird. So I'm cleaning under the mat. No problem. Okay? As he's giving me a bad time, the other man walked in, and I looked at him, and he's the picture on the wall. Okay? This is Chuck Norris, my first instructor. So Chuck walked into the room. The guy yelling at me, his name is Aaron Norris, Chuck's brother. Okay? So all of a sudden, all right, Chuck says, hey, maybe it's a good thing we clean under the mats. Okay? And that was okay. So that's how I got into martial arts. Chuck taught me 2 great things. Put your hands like this. Okay? If you could turn like this right now, what is that called? That's called a circle. This is called your defensive circle. Okay? And it's very important the way he had his center. And maybe you don't understand that. But his center was very simple. If you walk up to me, my choice is to back up, all right, walk away, because we do not fight people. We do self-defense. You grab me, I kill you. I walk away. You grab me, I kill you. It's simple. That's what we're taught. When we went to the Benny Akitas place in the valley, if you didn't have a broken finger, a bloody nose, or something didn't hurt, you weren't fighting good enough that night. We came out of that as a battle. Okay? That's how you learn to fight. So that's one of the things he talked to me about, the defensive circle. So you'll hear that I say what is called what? Set up your what? Line of defense. To me, life is a line of defense. Everything I've had people take it away from me. Everything I've wanted to build, I've had them take it away from me. Every time I thought I had a friend, I had them stab me in the back. Okay? And this is what happens. Next thing is, as I was fighting, because I was afraid to hurt people, because I'm very good at it. I had the fastest kick in the world at one time, the highest kick in the world at one time. And he said one thing, because I would not want to hurt somebody in the ring. He says, all right, you have to lose and to learn to win. Does this make sense? You have to lose to learn to win. And that stuck with me since I was a little boy. Because in the ring, if I want my ass kicked, then I'm going to get my ass kicked. So if I learn to lose, can I do better the next time? So you can learn to win. This is not easy. Everybody for 40 years have their opinion of Ray Reynolds. Okay, some say, my friends, family think it's working or not working, or, they're thinking about it. I can show every one of you how it's worked for you, but then some of you still say someone's still thinking about it. The system that we have in place does not want you to know. Okay? Do you understand this? I was indicted for my information. Indicted. And asked not to say what I know. I fought the indictment. I won. But the reality is, nobody gives a shit about you win something. But was I willing to die for what I believe in? The answer is yes. So me, that's how I am. You will learn things, and you've heard things you could probably honestly say you've never heard before. And if you put it here, you can change your life. Okay? You can become the billionaires. I named it the Billionaires Group. That scares people. I don't, billion, that's too much. Okay? When I started a donut store at 14, I didn't know it would become a national chain. When I started a cleaning company, I didn't know that too. When I invented my first product, I didn't know that too. So here's this kid at 14 and a half with $1 million in the bank. That's not possible. When I bought the Lamborghini Countach, oh, you must be a rich, spoiled bitch. You must be this, you must be that. You're a rich kid. Daddy bought you that car. I don't have a daddy, okay? So there's things we have to focus on. People are going to put you down. What I teach is bullshit. It doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. But every one of you, I can show you your case file. If you do what you're told to do, we can put the peg in the hole. Does that make sense? The problem is the balance. Before you met me, you're guessing how to make this work. Everybody in your family and friends told you got to do this or that. Everybody had a freaking opinion. Is that correct? Yes or no? Yes. I'm sorry, they're all stupid. They don't know 25 to 29%. They don't know the certain things you have to do to put that peg in that hole. Okay? It's like when you want credit. How do you get past 10 accounts? You have no more than 10 good cards to go get. Tell me more, please. For personal or business, tell me more. The only way to multiply those is the division process that I designed in '86. All right, I wanted another life. This life sucked. This life sucked. Okay? Having a girl's name going to school sucked. Okay? Going to court saying, I want to use my middle name twice until you're 15 sucks. They kept saying no, 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 no. I don't like no. No means to me you're stupid, you don't know how to do it, so you're ignorant, get the hell out of my way. I'm doing it anyway. I'm going to read every book I can. I'm going to put everything I can together to go get it. Because I believe you say no because you don't know how to do it. In this world, you have a car dealership, you have cars manufactured by Dodge. Does anybody know the history about Dodge Brothers? They used to work for Ford. How about KFC? How about Wendy's? Dave. See, I have studied every rich and famous person since I was a kid. My curiosity, two things, was when I had books when I was a kid, I'd rip up magazines and pretend that's my mommy and daddy, which didn't happen. And then, how did that person get that money? How'd they do it? Inherit it and make it. Somebody gave it to them. Had to be some way. All right? Somebody gave you something. So reality is simple. So, all right, today, mask, no mask, it's up to you. Some of you probably look better with a mask on anyway, but maybe that's what your spouse will tell you, but if you ever do that, please don't. One thing I learned in life is a man, as you hear me, I say, bite your tongue, love longer. If a man would learn to shut up, because a woman doesn't want to hear his crap. Okay, a woman is a tape recorder. She will play back that tape to you every day until you shut up. They never forget. So the main thing is go outside, scream to the world, okay, and bite your tongue. I had to do that hard yesterday about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm biting it as hard as I can. Thank you, Jesus, you gave me the patience to bite my tongue. Because you can't take back what you say. One of my books is going to be, it's basically Bite Your Tongue, Love Longer. It's for men. Okay, if you don't know this, I was the ghostwriter for Men Are for Venus and Women for Mars. I wrote the book for Dr. John Gray. He's my client. It was a concept. I'm a concept writer. I gave it to him. He published it. Everywhere. Then they found out John has a PhD online, which was, he bought it for $29. So anyway, that didn't go over too good for John. But it is what it is. So, as we do this. So, I need permission from you guys if I can talk about your cases in the room. So, my beautiful assistant today, all right, who's not Vanna White, will come up here at this time. Okay, and these are your files. I've had them analyzed. If there's anyone that doesn't want me to discuss your case in front of a group of people, please let me know who you are. Okay, because when Juan, are you here? Yes. Okay, I'm going to talk about Juan. Is that okay, Juan? Yes. Okay, so I got his permission. You heard that, right? So it's like Juan, back in March, sucks. Okay, Juan has a 608 and a 612. Understand? What's our problem here? Okay. Well, first of all, he's got a late payment. He's got some inquiries. He got a collection. He got some crap. And everything's 99%. I'm an affiliate to 115 creditors. All right. That allows me to turn around and go through my dashboards, and I can look at things behind the curtain. All right. That's what I'll call it. In other words, I get to see things on your reports and things behind that I'm allowed accidentally on purpose to move around. So I create words myself all the time, and I make up things because accidentally on purpose makes sense to me. Does that make sense to you? Then I accidentally on purpose forget to put it back. So here we got, everything's jacked up 98%. One of my dashboards allows me to basically peekaboo, and I'm an affiliate of Capital One. Capital One is not on Credit Karma. It hasn't been for about almost a year because they did not want to pay the fee to Credit Karma. Credit Karma in the past lied and got indicted. They're part of TransUnion. Okay, but the reality is simple. Juan got a no. We don't like you. You suck. That's what it is. You can't get credit. Juan gets a rapid rescore. Juan does everything I tell him to do. I love it. Congratulations for listening. Thank you, Jesus. I got one that listened. All right. He's still 36% on his damn Chase card. Okay? But when you look at the accounts here, all right, there's no green lights. You see the word no green lights? Okay? What a rapid does, which is hard to deal with because you got to realize something. I worked with Harold Stokes. You ever look him up? He was an attorney and a professor. He was my mentor. Harold Stokes was like a father to me. When he passed, it was difficult. So with Harold and Ken Yarborough, we came together to figure out a way to fix the problems in the system. I wrote laws. Nobody cared. They don't implement them today. So what Juan did is a rapid, look at all the green lights. Okay? What happened? He did what he was told. I need everything at 29, 25%. Almost there. He's not in a rapid. It finished. Okay. What happened yesterday? Here's a $5,000 Quicksilver. Okay. Because Juan did what I told him to do. 5, all right, 11, it's a no. 6, 17, what do I got? And an average of 45 days, I get to poppity pop. Does that make sense? But you have to do what I tell you to do. But that's hard because you're listening to everybody on the outside. You're listening to yourself. You're getting frustrated. I want it now, now, now. What's wrong with this system? It's not working. Blah, 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 blah. Don't you feel it? You get frustrated as hell, don't you? I do. Okay, I work my tail off and then somebody crashes my rapid. Oh, shit. I work my tail off and they jack up a card. What are you making me do? I'm chasing my tail and I'm losing money because I learned one thing in law school. It's called billable hours. You're not allowing me to maintain my billable hours because you're killing me, Larry. You're screwing it up for me. Okay? He was added to the American Express. He will get a gold card unlimited. which we'll discuss how to play with that card. Out of all the cards you have, there's only one card on the planet that you can get to $1 million, all right, and pay over time, and that'll have no effect on your credit report. The only card on this planet that 29% rule does not affect is this card. How hard is it, or how important is it to get this card? I've had one of you get it and cancel it because you don't want to pay the fee. Are you $275 a year? Pocket change. But these cards earn points. So what happens with points is you earn points to pay the fee 3 times a year. It's like, so what are you doing? You told American Express no. Now I got to ask him pretty please on my knees. Will he say yes again? That takes 6 months. American Express does not forgive. Remember what I told you. American Express does not what? Forgive. So that means if you screw them, they are a Warren Buffett company. Do you understand this? They used to be part of the Mormon Church. That's why you see Salt Lake City, Utah, and everything you send to, all right, to American Express. Mormon Church is the richest church in the world for the last 40 years. But they do consume more alcohol than anybody on the planet. So, cheers. All right, I got him a Chase card. This is an ink. If he takes the call and says, yes, I applied. My dog's name is Max. My mother's last name is Max. All right, thank you. The worst case you'll have to do is send them the articles of corporation, an officer's list, or a bank statement. I don't care if your bank statement has a friggin' dollar in it. You forget because you panic. If I give them my bank statement, it doesn't have money in there. It's not about money. It's to verify you. It's the process. Okay? All right, so we have to understand. So we're going to tear apart cards. We're going to have fun. So, thank you, Juan, for letting me have fun with you, because that's half the battle. But my question is, all right, when you get that gold card, if you get it on Monday, you're going to take me to lunch. I don't go to lunch. It's okay. I have never went to lunch in my life. I don't like lunch. I don't like breaks. I don't like slowing times down. So you take out your beautiful wife, all right, and say, this is on Ray. But again, earn points. So is there anyone that does not want me to bring up your name, all right, and about your case if we bring it up in this audience this weekend? So, all right, first name? That's what I thought. That's Don. So Don does not want me to pick on him. But I like picking on you, Don. All right, anyone else? So, honey, excuse me, my assistant today. Could you come in here, please? Take Don Archibald's file out there. He won't let me pick on him in the audience, which is fine. Okay. All right, so state your name. So pull that out. Singletary is out too. I get to pick them online anyway. I'm going to make up on this next week. You know this. So we're going to have some fun. Now, Johnny Green didn't say no. He wants me talking. Johnny is a pain in the ass. Johnny knows he's a pain in the ass, and I give him crap back. He gives me crap back. But that's the relationship we have. Well, the reality is sometimes, I'll say it always works, but I'll take you 5%. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you guys screw up the rapids, and it's like, what did you do to me? You'll watch it start go up. It's going to go. It's going to go. It's like, then you break it. It's like, what happened? So again, so anyone else I can't talk about. Be honest. Come on, don't feel bad. Okay? So, if you don't want to have me embarrass you, I'll just, next week I get to pick on you more. Okay? So, Don, your whole group or just you?
The additional CFOs.
Yeah, right.
They should be okay.
They'll be okay?
Yep.
Okay. A lot of times, unless I know it's okay, I won't use your name, whatever else. Our goal is to go through everything that we can in the next 3 days. All right, make sure if you heard it again, hear it again, ask a question, look under the rock. Are we missing something? Okay? because my wife has been bugging me for years. All right, she wants to go to the castle in Ireland. She wants me to go on a 5-year business trip. I've never been on vacation in my life because only stupid people take vacations. Okay, it's called a business trip. Okay? So that's the case number. She'll pull it out too. You got Singletary, right? 137 case number. Okay. All right. Perfect. Anyone else? Okay. So, all right, you're going to be leaving us soon. You're going to come back in a couple hours, right? Because the office voted on it, everyone wants to take a lunch. We're taking lunch from 12 to 1. Okay? If you need a break, take a break. I don't take breaks. Is that okay? Unless you force me to take a break. Now, on this board, I need you to tell me what this, and this is. Write down 3 things on a piece of paper. What you see is a pen. Write down pen. Next, you see $1. Next, you see a blank piece of paper. So let's write it down. Is it easy to change the world? No. Why? Because the world hates people who change the world. They only love them after it got changed and it worked. And then they were first in line to say, I get to do it too. But I want to do it for free. That's the thing that they like the most. All right, who's a guest here today? Okay, so in the beginning, on a guest, what happens is they have books and CDs, the people you're guests with. And what happens is these books and CDs have everything you need. All right, I would like, and I'm in the process, I've kind of almost done it, I'd like to update the image of it, but the context is great. Okay? So the thing is for you is if you're a guest, simple. Today, as you know, we're recording. You're not allowed to record. You're not allowed to take pictures of my cute face. And if you don't think it's cute, that's not my problem. The only one who cares about it is the wife. She's stuck looking at this the rest of her life. Okay? So the reality is she thinks it's cute. As a guest, all right, several things that we look at. We named something the Millionaire's Founders Kit, 12 books and CDs. Why? If you go to the 12 books and CDs, you could have $1 million of credit. Okay? What is our goal? All right? What is your goal?
$1 million.
Okay, what else?
Own properties and businesses.
Okay, well, you suck. Okay, what is your goal?
I want to supplement my income.
You want to have your income. What is your goal? Okay. All right. I want to change the world. Okay? I want to give back everything God gave me. I want to change my wife. I want to change my kids. By the way, I can't change my wife. She changes me. Can't change the kids so they have an opinion. Okay? So what you just said is what you want. Is that correct? All right. Who's liable for what you want? Say me, not me, because I'm not you. Okay? So the reality is you have to say me. You said properties. Okay? If we have a house, there's your house. What happens with a house in California? What happens?
You get taxed.
Okay, you're taxed. It's property tax, yes? Property tax takes care of school, fire, road, and police. Let's pay it. We get to write it off. It's on our tax return, yes or no? Everybody pays tax. Rich people pay tax. Poor people who have a house pay tax. So when people say rich and famous people have a loophole, it's BS. There's no loophole. That's crap. Okay? So house. You said house or properties. This is you. Okay? This is going to be a property, and we have to decide several things as a goal. When you buy properties, who buys the property? Okay, I hear you were the corporation. Do you know how yet? Or do you have an idea? Okay, under the business credit. Okay, I have a problem. I don't like spending money. I leverage everything I can in my life. All right, because I'm afraid to lose what I got. Does it make sense? When you spend, who's got a dollar bill right now? Pull it out. If you have a dollar in your pocket or purse, pull it out. We're here 3 days. We're not in a hurry. We're here to basically get in your head, get in your heart, get into your goal. Because if we do this right, what do we get to do? Is there a dollar on the board? Okay. Now, what was your answer for the pen? The pen. What is the pen there? What is the pen? Tell me, guys. Come on. Okay? The pen is an asset. That's all it is. I don't give a damn if it writes. I don't care if it jumps up and down and says peekaboo. It's an asset. 9/10 of the law is what? Possession. If I have the possession in my hand called a pen an asset, can somebody sue me and take it away? Okay? Now, they can take it away as long as it doesn't have a lien on it. Do you understand lien? Let's think about this. If that pen is in my possession, that means if it has a lien, I do not own it. Does that make sense? So that means I'm using it on the behalf of me, but I have someone else who owns it. The hardest thing to remember is I tell it like it is. If you screw me, it's because you sued me. But if I protect my asset before I am sued, I will not be screwed. I know it's blunt, but it's the reality of life. 100%. So if I have an asset, should I put a lien on it before someone takes it away? Now, who puts the lien on the asset? What corporation? Don's right. Okay? The world is wrong as far as I'm concerned, and you can have your opinion, but I will not change my opinion for you or anyone else. Understand that. LLC, all right, is basically a Nevada court, period, unless you did it here because you're Dr. Laura CPA and that's what you chose to do. Because when you walk into a law firm or an accounting firm, it says LLCs all over the board. They absorb the money, they spread it out, they suck it all out, they spend it all, they dispense it, and they hope they get nothing. And they don't even want a paycheck. So again, so that asset, all right, should have over here an LLC, which still stands for Limited Liability of Corporation. Is that correct? So if that asset had a lien on it, what do you get? You sued me, but you couldn't take away my asset. So good for you. Make sense? What is the dollar? What is the dollar? Now I'm making you think. Because when you answered the question on the pen, you got it wrong as far as I'm concerned. You're thinking, what is the dollar? Now, since you can't figure it out, look at the dollar in front of you, and please read the heading of it. Is it what? It's a Federal Reserve note. I want you to write down the word note, and I want you to tattoo it to your brain. Okay? Today, I have a client 3 weeks ago losing their house. I basically put a lien on all their furniture. All right? Under a UCC 1. I turned it into a chattel mortgage. I gave it to a company. They gave me a loan. Did he get the money to save his house? You see, unless I'm dead, I'm going to try everything I got. Okay? Because the home is like a family. You don't lose the home. It sucks when you do, or someone steals it from you. So, a Federal Reserve what? So, our government prints money. All right? It has no boundaries ever since Nixon took the gold standard out. So, we used to print money based on gold reserve, if you know this. Now we print money because we print it till we run out of damn paper. All right? Biden now is going, well, I'm going to take only 500 million. First it's 2 trillion, then it's 1 trillion, then it's 500 million. That's what they announced today. Which are you going to make up your mind? I guess he found he didn't have enough paper in stock, okay? The bottom line is, money is a note. We will have another census. They do it every year. Is that correct? Okay, that means they have to count us. Why are they counting us? Because that basically tells them how much money to print per section, per state, per city, and everything else. So this is a counting. We are sheep. When I go ba, 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 or quack, 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 because that's what we are. The world is changing. Your life is this. You have to focus on your circle. You might even start your own country for all you want. Okay? Hey, I had my clients start their own damn city in Apple City. Okay? Because they wanted to get away from crap and they took the land and they called it basically their own city. Because they were trying to take kids off the street. All right? Because when they're stuck in the friggin' ghetto, they stay ghetto. You move their ass out, they're not ghetto anymore. You probably don't know about David German. David had the pirate ship in Dana Point in Torrance all the time. He took the bad kids, all right? And you know who he is. David was one of my mentors, one of my clients for years, so he passed it in 2010. So reality is him and his martial art buddies would take all the kids from the street. Now I'm raised with blacks and Mexicans, and I don't give a shit about color. My biggest thing on the show for Steve Harvey and I was on the beat. Kathy owned the station at the time. Steve said colored lines. I corrected him and I got fired because he came out with his big teeth. Okay? Because he says, you don't correct me on our air. There are no lines, Steve. We are colored blind. God made people, not friggin' colors. But again, I got fired. So again, David used to take the kids off the street. And they basically, the badasses, they would kick the shit out of them, throw them overboard, see if they could swim. When they came back after a month and a half, they were different kids. And they replaced them and put them other places. Sometimes getting out of the ghetto sucks. It's not easy. So, we know a pen is an asset. A dollar is a what? If they can give me a note as a legal, it says legal what? Tender. I can put a note on you. Your assets. You got a ring, you got a watch. Okay? All right, you got a car? Oh, I put a lien on that damn car. Okay, you got a house? Okay, got to put a lien on that too? Hell, I'll put a lien on the escrow before it closes. You can lien anything you want. All right, what is the paper? What is the piece of paper? Okay? The blank paper is you creating your goals. You must create your goals. In your goals, as far as I'm concerned, you should have goals and not me, me, me. My goal is always for them. Okay? All right? It just works for me. So it's just whatever you want. For me, if my wife is happy, that's great. I know they have the saying, happy wife, happy life. All right? The reality is if the man bites his tongue, lives longer, he'll live longer. My wife's Colombian. She says always as a joke, you know, you want to live longer, right? All right, we invented the Colombian necktie. Do not look that up. Whatever you do, okay? We go to a light and it's green and she goes, green, go. I married one. She's, all right, if you don't know, if you're not Colombian, Colombians are characters. All Colombians, you know, everything, they make it a joke. They have fun with everybody. They're the most nationality that basically plays jokes on anybody I've ever met in my life. They think it's funny when you trip and they go, how's the ground? Versus, how are you? So again, our goal is to write our goals. Your goal can be anything you want it to be. Okay? All right, as you go through this. So, if you're a guest, if you get Millionaires Founders Kit, okay, that is going to give you 12 books and CDs so you know what they're working on. Real estate, okay? I have a problem with people in real estate. All right, some of you are loan brokers, some of you are brokers, some of you are this, and as far as I'm concerned, sorry, I don't think you're what you think you are. The reason I'll say that is, what is a homestead blocker? All right, what is a chattel mortgage and a UCC1? See, what matters to me, when my wife and I owned apartment complexes, all right, 3-story buildings next to PCH, all 3,800 square feet, worth millions of dollars each. stole from us. But what did I do to get them? If they did not pay me, I'm screwed, but I found a way that if you screw me, I still win. What's the goal? To pay the mortgage. Is that correct? Most people get a piece of property, they lease it out, all right, and they hope they pay the payment, get a little extra maybe, and then within 5 years they sell it. Is that correct? Because it's going to go up in value. That's what they're hoping for. I found a way to suck out all the money now. I like now. I'm impatient. Now. Makes sense to me. So when you get real estate, and we're going to go over this as well. If you want that, that's fine. That's what we're going to play with. Buckets of money. My biggest problem, how do I get more credit? I'm a person. My government tells me I got to get an SSN, all right, to get a job, so they can record me to file my first tax return called a 1040. Every paycheck I get is tax, I get the leftover. At the end of my life, they hope I'm in probate unless I set up an irrevocable trust or something. And now my family got diddly squat. Okay, now I analyze that and I tear all that apart. When I was told when I was the night crew supervisor for Lucky's, you need your SSN, you didn't put it on the application. All right, I said, well, what's that? I looked at it, I knew what it was, but why do I have to get it? I have questioned everything in my life. People don't like who questions, and you're stupid or you're ignorant or you think you're better than us, whatever crap, I've heard it all. So I got the SSN. Do you have a Social Security card right now? Is it in your purse or wallet right now? Okay. All right. Who said yes? Okay. Get it out. All right. Did you put yours away because you're supposed to? Okay. Let's say to the deposit box. Social Security card, do not laminate. Do not use for ID purposes. And on that card it says Property or Social Administration, not you. It's on the back of that. That's not even your card. That is your number. They might as well have tattooed us on it like they did the Nazis, sorry to say. It's the same thing. We are branded by a number so they can do a bond. Do you see the number on the back of that card? All right, they have a bond on us for up to $35 million apiece the moment you get the card, okay, flat out, and then they get to print more money. They print money based on head count, not gold reserve. Got it? Now, mama delivering that baby, what does she have to do now? Okay, because I push the limit every time I had a kid, and I have 6 kids. I give the hospital hell. We're not filling that form out. Okay, why would I have to do that? Okay, I've had the head of the hospital come, security come, all right, administration come every time. Okay, every time to tell me we cannot legally allow you to take your baby home. All right, that's called wrong. Okay, so hospitals are federally mandated to enforce the issue. When they came up with my son, I got blessed with a boy. He's 7.5 now, and he's a genius. He wanted to come here to teach this today. Literally, he got up and he wanted to come here. Okay, he's only 7.5, but by 10 he might be teaching the class. You never know. But the goal is, all right, as we do this, we have to remember that Social Security card is a number. That's how we're bonded. So let's understand, all right, we have the ability to play their game, and I'm going to call it their game. Now understand, some people say I'm a patriot, I'm this or that. I believe in America. Don't think I don't, okay? I believe in this country. I believe in freedom. I believe in choice. I believe you give me rules to play, I'll master your rules, I'll play your game. But if I can outsmart you, son of a bitch, I will do so. All right, does that make sense? Do you understand why I say son of a bitch? Because it feels like we're controlled. Is that correct? Where's our freedom? That's what pisses me off. Okay, so if I can make you smarter or more knowledge and you can apply it, that's my goal. Okay, so again, I'll play their game, but I'm allowed to do like rich and famous people do because I want to be one of them. Okay, but then I don't want to be rich and famous. Now they're famous. They'll tell you they're not rich, but they are rich. How do you do that? So again, so if as a guest you want to play, you have financial series, everything else. You get buckets of money. The ultimate goal is, all right, between sales and everything else, believe it or not, I would give everything I have that I teach you for free if I could. But there are bills to pay. The reality is, then you wouldn't appreciate it anyway. All right? If you don't have something in it to win it, you don't basically stay to it anyway. So it's kind of like a situation. So main thing is the office between 1,000, whatever they can get. They're salespeople. As far as I'm concerned, they charge too much or not enough. You never know what they're going to charge. So if you are a client, you got it. If you don't, get it. If you're not and you're a guest, you can get all 18 books, CDs for $4.99. It's simple, so you know. Okay? Because all of a sudden you're going to go, well, I want to do that too. But again, this is very simple when it comes to our program. Working with Ken Yarborough and helping him through TRW. What's TRW stand for? Say Thomas, Woolworth, Winworth. I can't say it now anymore. Thomas, Woolworth, and I can't even say it. They made bicycle parts. All right, in El Segundo. They got in the information business. Their first credit bureau was started by Michael. All right, Michael Smith went to 5 B of A's one day, and he applied for credit and got a line of credit for all 5. He went to the office in San Francisco, and he says to the president of B of A, I just stole, all right, money from 5 of your locations. You don't even know it. And he goes, what do you mean? He says, because you can't track who applies at your branches, I just stole $200,000 from you. If you'd like to sign up for my first manual credit reporting agency, all right, you can do so. So we'll track all your branches. The first credit bureaus were set up to track the applying of credit. Not about ratings, okay? It was about you being able to apply at 5 places at once, and they knew who you were. Okay? Make sense? I was a consultant for Bank of America for 29 years. Okay? I've been a consultant for all kinds of companies. But I know how to apply at Bank of America at 5 locations in one day and get 5 lines of credit. So the same process I can still do, but I'm not here to screw you out of money. I'm here to fund my divisions, is what my goal is. Okay? So we have a credit reporting agency. If your credit is bad, you can do the Lexington Law, creditrepair.com, same company. Go online, it says the top credit repair companies, they're all Lexington Law. Because years ago, what you don't know is I sold them, their guy that's the founder of Lexington Law, attorney, I sold him United Credit Repair. It was the largest credit repair company in the world. That was my company. Okay, but Yarborough was on the board. So what we did is we didn't repair, but everybody calls it repair. You can't fix them, it's not broken. Okay? They collect money up front, they don't really do their job. Has anybody experienced that great thing with them? Over here, okay? So it's like, unfortunately, I'm going to tell both of you, it's probably your fault. You paid $99 a month, you thought they had a magic wand, and you kept paying while you thought they were doing something for you. And all they're doing is not late, all right, not mine. Same thing some of you have done for yourself. But those collections don't go away. They keep hitting and hitting and hitting. So after a year or so, you go, what happened? You're no further than you were. So if you're a client, you want the credit rebuilding, you want the rapid, it's simple, we charge $500. Okay, no case should be past 180 days unless you do not do what you've been asked to do. A debt is bad. A debt has to be dead, settled, paid off, or bankrupt. If a debt is not in those categories, and it's a collection agency and they sold it, they can keep doing what with you every 30, 40 days. So you got to kill it, or you got to pay it, or settle it, unless they wrote it off under 17900A3. So again, 80 days is maybe because you took longer or you violated a couple times too. I want you done. My affiliate fees in 2008 were $26 million. I'm an affiliate. Every time I pop you credit, I get money. Every time you pay your bills, I get money. Okay, you get a mortgage, I get money. Affiliates are paid. Credit Karma is free because they're affiliate. It's free to you as you clickety-clack. Okay, free. But they don't have any phone number to talk to you, because why would they bother? They don't want to talk to you. It's free. Then Credit Karma has no phone numbers to talk to you. Then they want you to join their win 20,000. Then they want you to have a savings account and got to talk to nobody. Anybody dumb enough to give people your money in a savings account, you can't talk to anybody and feel like you can touch the money? The world. I worked through Robert Felheg. He's one of my attorneys and friends for 30 years. Robert's great. Other attorneys I've worked with for years. All right, some people we found out hurt all of us, which wasn't very nice. But what happens is, through me and through the attorneys, we feed things to their attorneys. Because they ask ideas for him, he asked me, it's the same thing it's not for me, it's them, whatever. I got Lexington Law off Credit Karma. Because I showed them that because you're basically telling them to go to Lexington Law, when they sue Lexington Law, they're going to sue you because you're the fruit of the poison of the seed. The reality is, you told them to do it. Within 2 days, boom, they got their brains together. I was supposed to raise credit there last year. I said I want to set up my dashboards. Everything's going good. I get half my stuff back in March. My radio show's good. I'm ready to go. All right, in March, what happened? Pandemic 19. First I die in 9, I got 19. I guess I should have put raise credit on Credit Karma. Reality is they are there because they're an affiliate. They get paid fees. They're worth billions of dollars. They are a Delaware corporation. Why are they Delaware? Because they are partners. LLP, Delaware, LLC, Nevada. Chase Bank is what? Delaware. All right, everything else. Everything was Delaware until 1995. And then they did disclosure, and then everyone ran rich and famous people to Wyoming and Nevada. Okay, so understand the process. So if you want that, what happens if you did it this weekend? We're going to give you a $1,000 Visa card for the fun of it. That way it reimburses yourself, you get an extra $500 on top of it. So what the heck? So you kind of get your money back. One of the things I've always tried to do is give you 2 to 10 times money back to you in a program, so it takes away excuses. Because I'm fighting the world to say everyone else is right and I'm wrong. Because when you try to do something new, and I've fought it for 40 years. 40 years I've had people give me their opinions, and the reality of their opinion, I'm sorry to say, I don't care. I'm driving a Lamborghini worth $1 million, you're not, so you're full of shit, I'm not. I'm living in a $5 to $10 million house. You're not. So how did I do it? All right. Do you understand? You have to think different than people. When I was the second largest advertiser in Los Angeles, I got an award in front of all the radio and TV people, thousands of people in the room. The man who was going to give it to me, they say, here comes blah, blah, blah. He's the #1 consultant worldwide, the #1 expert on marketing in the world. He comes on stage. Mr. Reynolds, they gave me the honors to give you the award today. All right, fantastic. All right, but there's one thing about your commercials. I don't think you should ever have price in any of your commercials. That's completely wrong. So now let me give you your reward. So here I'm getting an award and he tells me I'm an idiot. Well, that's what it is. I'm wrong, right? So I get on stage and my first thing is very simple. I have 2 questions for you, a couple questions. And he says, what are those? I said, number 1, okay, are you worth $1 billion? No. I'm worth 2.6 billion. Okay? All right, you're the smartest guy in marketing, but I seem to be the smartest son of a bitch in the room. Do you understand what you have to fight? If you don't process this correctly here, you will fight what you're learning. You will fight yourself. Because you will fall down. You will screw up. You'll crash a rapid maybe. You maybe be 38% on something. All right, jacked up. And you get that, chase card. That Chase card could have been 75,000, but your personal one's at 38%, so you only got 50. You understand the numbers? See, I called Chase personally, can I take my Chase card and basically transfer something to corporate? No, we cannot. We don't do that. I called Chase corporate to get a card. I asked a question. Can I get a Chase card for my corporation? Do you have a personal account? See what they're asking me now? What I just was told no. This makes no sense. No, we don't care. It makes no sense. All right, stuff in life don't make sense. And can I transfer part of that? Well, let me reference and see in your personal da-da-da-da-da. I can get you an instant account. Okay, so those are the things. So if you don't have your own corp as a guest, get a corp. $1,000, you get everything for 3 months. You get $10,000 of credit. The goal is the Millionaire's Founders Kit, 12 books, CDs are free. Okay, in the Millionaires in the Making. This one comes at $25,000. How hard is it to maintain 29% on a $500 credit card? It's impossible. Do you understand this? Some of you didn't have bad credit. You didn't have any damn credit. Or you didn't have a credit file. Or something we had to stir, kind of stimulate to bring alive. Or it was frozen here, or this or that. So again, we have to make sure what we're doing to analyze that file. So $25,000 if you did the one that's $24.99. And again, you get the Millionaire's Founders Kit for free. All right, the office came up these pricing. A lot of you are the Monica. I won't say Lewinsky because he was a client. But you're, all right. I did her corporation for her purses. Okay, years and years ago. So again, so these are prices, she said, these are what we should quote current people or non-people if they want to enhance their credit for this weekend. So you will get a flyer that says that as well. So the main thing is, as you know, we don't take credit cards after pandemic started. I hate credit cards. Okay, you know what happens with credit cards? Okay, people charge back, even when they screw up. Okay? One of the largest producers of your documentaries, first name is Jeff. I will not give his last name. He needed money. He charged back $20,000 on me. He's a producer of movies. Ray, I'm sorry, I need the money. Okay, you can afford it. The company can't afford it. It pays its own fees. Last year, getting PPP loans, I was turned down 7 times because we can't show we took a loss of 25%. We would not lie. People lied. Our marketing company got $500,000 free money. They forgave it. She made more money last year. She lied. Okay, I have a problem. If I lie, I know who's watching me. So Zelle is what I take. All right, our bank, that's it. If you're in a business, you take credit cards. All right, always have the fear that they're going to charge back. All right, I don't care if they say 6 months to a year. I've watched them charge back 2 years. Okay, it's supposed to be 6 months. The reality is it's crap. If someone charges back on you and you dispute it, listen carefully, and you win the dispute, because then it's fine. If they dispute again, all right, you're going to lose the case. Cancel the bank, move banks quickly. During that process, and you hear what I'm telling you, someone wants to cancel, charge back on a card, you dispute, they have to put it in limbo, you get your money right back. Change banks immediately. They cannot screw you out of your chargeback. Okay? See, in my business and what we do, they make us put a 10% reserve. Okay? We had $160,000 in reserve last year when pandemic happened. All right? They didn't give us our money back because of pandemic. We needed the money. All right? Pandemic happens. Some of you probably went to the 1717 address in Orangewood before. Okay? Simple. They had 20 people. All right, pandemic starts. A month later, they all left. 4 people stayed in the room. Where are you going? We're going to go get the unemployment check. It's $600 more than we make a week. We get a bonus to stay home. You weren't fired. You weren't laid off. All right, I helped you buy a house. I helped you buy a car. It's like it doesn't matter what you did. It's like, here's a big F you. I'm going home. Getting people to work right now is difficult. Apple sends me an email every week because they actually find people and recruit people. Apple Employment. Sorry, Ray, the market, we can't find people to run our office. Okay? So again, because they're home collecting unemployment, which means they get more money until September 4th. So again, I'm just telling you about Zelle. I love Zelle. You should always think about Zelle. Expedite. You see, here's a problem. Before we did this, because I always wanted to, I want to do this. See, the office would not do things faster unless you expedited or wired it because we were afraid you're going to charge back. Since we took Zelle and deposits, we expedite everything. Every case that is active, all right, is in front of where I sit, Scott, and our desk at all times. Okay? We usually would know within an hour's time where your case is. I want my affiliate fees. So if I get you popped faster, what am I going to get? The affiliate fees. It's not easy. So again, that's your choice. So what we have to do is understand why we take Zelle and learn from what we do so you can learn what you do. Our ultimate goal is to make sure we don't have a problem. Because when you lose, last year we lost $11.6 million. Okay, not only did I lose 3 buildings, all right, and leases and equipment and everything else. Okay, all right, I have franchises for being Starbucks competition. I have banking ready to support me. My wife's first name is Faizuli. Listen to that word, Faizuli. It's like Versace. To me, it's a sexy name. She hates it. That's okay. I trade name, trademark, and copyright it. All right? She's Colombian. What do we used to see on TV? Colombian coffee. Coffee from Colombia. Juan Valdez. Okay? With, I think it was a donkey inside the grocery store. So that's the competition of Starbucks in the future. Faizuli's Colombian coffee. All right, and they'll have Colombian foods, arepas, things like this, things, Colombian foods that people love. Okay, so again, the competition is going to have fun. Now, I have, right now, 36 books waiting for a publisher. I have 194 goals. Okay, I have 19 patents on products that you will use in the future. And you use products in your house that I've invented in the past. Where's your cell phone? Okay. All right. What is on your front of your cell phone? Probably a face of you, maybe the wife, daughter, times whatever. Okay. I do something for me as I do goals all the time. I'm possessed for my goals. I wake up literally, my wife had to get used to it. All right, 2:25 every day, pop, I'm up ready to go. Thank you, Jesus, everything else. All through the day, my calendar sends me a text. Okay? Do you ever have a time in the day that you are pissed off? Want to scream? Want to give up? Say, damn, this day's kicking my ass. You ever have one of those days? Okay? How do you keep yourself encouraged? When you need encouragement, who encourages you? Between God, you. So I'm going to suggest, all right, like here. Simple, my first one. I am the father I've always wanted to be. I wrote down everything before I became a father. What did I want as a kid? I didn't get. Okay? Every daughter will say, literally, I taught them to dance because I love to dance. They all got martial arts. All right, they all have a good work ethics. All that stuff, and all kinds of fun stuff. All right, next thing is, it'll say focus, determination, knowledge, and forgiveness. This will send me during the day. My next thing is patience, relax, get through it, be thankful for the bad and the good. So I have to encourage myself, okay? Because the world is mean, cruel, and at times disgusting. Is it true? So you have to fight through the pain. All right? I could have the worst day in the world. The moment I sit in a Lamborghini or Ferrari, do I feel better? Do I feel better? I can feel like that the world's against me now. I'm just going to die. The moment I get in that car and I go, boom, 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 what happens? Am I in a better mood? Okay. If I get in the Jag, am I in a better mood? Okay. We have to plan things to get in a better mood. Okay. You're going to have to want something so bad, no matter what you do. So today's date, this weekend, to the 31st. My challenge for every one of you is to make sure you do everything you're told and have $1 million of corporate credit. Period. All right? That's 6 months. You've been trying to do that all your damn life. Is that correct? You've tried it year after year after year. You didn't get it. You spend money. 3 of you, I know you spend money with Tony Baloney. Tony and I fight all the time. Okay? I like you, Ray, but I don't like you. Yes, Tony, no problem. You're so damn tall. Look at you. Motivation, unless it's the Bible, to me is crap. I'm sorry, it's just how I feel. My wife says I shouldn't say that. But, I'm saying, honey, I love you. When you're not in the room, when you're in the room, okay. No, I'm serious. I'll respect what she says in her presence. All right? Because that's what she wants. That's fine. When she's not here, hey. Okay? That's just the way it is. So it's like anything else in life. That's a yacht. We had 3. That one was a movie producer's yacht. I got it for no money down. How did I do it? How did I do it? No. He was in bankruptcy. I check the bankruptcy list every day. Do you? Do you? Then let's do some stuff what you're supposed to do. I check the bankruptcy list. If you ever Google, hopefully you've Googled my house in Huntington Harbor, which Joe was at many times filming stuff and having fun. That is the largest U-Dock in Huntington Harbor. We fit 3 yachts, Duffys, and all the toys. I had a dream. And that 17 houses, I had 4. I wanted one for every kid. I was going to buy them all when they came up. I wanted my family and the kids and grandkids to live on the same block. Okay, it's an idea next to Mother's Beach. Why not? So I check, what did I say? Bankruptcy list. All right, I check repo list. Make a list. If you want to do something, you got to quit thinking the way you think. And I'm not going to say box because there's no friggin' box. Anybody who says think out of the box is an idiot. A box puts 4 sides around you, does it not? I don't believe in that thinking. I check the bankruptcy list every day. I check basically the repo list every day. Okay? I found out that yacht is my neighbor across the street. Okay? Now, I have a problem. Before coma, I'm afraid to be broke. I would have my gold bars in my safe, my coins, all right, because gold is good, but it's not good. Gold is not good, okay? Because you can't cash it in when you need the money. It was only good when I gave it to a private bank, I could borrow against it. Because borrowed money's not what? Okay? I have always had, until the coma, $1 million in cash at my house. Always, in a safe. Okay? And you had to do 5 different ways you can find a damn safe. Okay? I'm afraid to be broke. It scares the shit out of me. So I know one thing. If I got gold and I got cash, you can kiss my ass if you're trying to come after me. Because what does it take to fight a battle?
Resources.
Money. The only thing is money walks, bullshit talks. You know the truth. So that yacht was free. I walked down the street. He's in his garage. They're getting ready to move. All right. They're in bankruptcy. He's losing that house. Okay. I put $20,000 in my pocket. I walk, hey, how you doing today? All right. He's acting, everything's cool. My question is, I hear you're going through some bad times. Yeah, Ray, and then he tells me this story. All right, the movie producers, this and that, and this is what happened, blah, 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 no problem. And all of a sudden we have that. I said, what about the yacht? He said, yeah, they're going to pull it next week. All right. And I said, what about your dock? All right. I said, we could rent out that dock and create some cash for you. Oh, Ray, I don't want to mess with that. How many people are lazy and stupid? Okay. I want to lease out his dock. I want to hand him some money. Okay. I said, how much are you behind on the yacht? Okay. He says, on 3 payments. What are your payments? $653.26.
Are you kidding me?
That's it. He put a lot of money down on the yacht. See, when you got money, the problem people do is like put a lot of money down. They want to own it. Well, owning something and having equity sucks. Okay? Because money should be moving. You should not kill money. I said, I'll tell you what we do. I said, can I take that yacht from you? All right, let's go in the house. Let's call your bank. I'm going to make your payments current. All right, and then from there he goes, well, how do I get it to you? I go, I already got the forms. I'm prepared. Okay? It's an assignment of asset. It's an assignment of money. It's an assignment of everything else. And you're going to sign. And you pull out the registration. You pull out this and everything else. I'm going to help solve your problems. He starts to cry. What do? You pray with the guy. You hug him. All right, you help him. He's going through bad times, but he doesn't want to feel like a loser. He doesn't want to feel you're giving him something. Nobody wants a free ride. Got on the phone with the bank. I said, I'm going to basically capture the payments, make a document. I'm going to fax it to you as well. All right, as of today, that boat will be mine and assigned to me. It's an assignment of asset, assignment of registration, all the pieces we needed. Okay, I said, what is the balance that needs to be paid currently? Well, if he pays one, I said, no, I want the balance. What to be current on this boat now? I said, fine, here's my debit card. I called my phone. I said, well, basically, let me put my banker on the phone. Now, has bankers that'll take my calls 24/7 in the past. When you got money in the bank, they kiss your assets. I said, can you make sure she gets the money she needs to pay to make this yacht current, please? Done. Email me a receipt. All right, then you got to change this account to this, and that. All right, now am I changing the yacht to me or to what? Who said corporation? Who said corporation? You said who said corporation? I heard corporation. All right, then I can't tell you. If it was him, I'd say hit him, because you're a hitter, kicker, or pincher, right? They're all the above. Okay, so again, I put it to the division. Okay, because it might have a problem. I said from there, I need to have my camera guy come out. Joe wasn't available, so I called someone else. I said, I want you to train me on your yacht. Ray, you got 2 yachts, and you're licensed captain. That's beside the point. You know your yacht more than I do. And if I film what you tell me about your yacht, I'll understand your yacht versus my yachts. I like that knowledge. I want to master it. I don't do things half-ass. I got the yacht for free. What did I have to do? I checked on the repo list. I checked on the bankruptcy list. All right. Now, I'm helping the guy. What do I do next? There you go. House. Okay. All right. His wife comes in. All right. She sees what I'm doing. I said, do you guys want to stay in your house? Okay. No. Okay. All right. What are your plans? We bought a mobile home on Edinger and that new park. It's great because kids are growing, everything else. So fine. All right. So you have the mobile home built. Okay, great. Your house here. How many payments behind? 6. The house is worth $3 million. 6 payments, that's $50,000. Okay? Now, where do you get $50,000 from? Where do you get $50,000 from? Where do you get $50,000 from? Where do you get $50,000? No, see, this is the problem. I'm here in equity. I'm here in my bank. I'm here. I will not spend my money. If I am as smart as I am, and I think I'm the smartest son of a bitch I've ever met when it comes to this shit, If I write a check, that's called stupidity. Okay? I had the $20,000 in cash. Did I give it to him? Where did I take it from? All right, the bank. Where'd the bank take it from?
The Federal Reserve.
Okay, what account did he take it from me? He took it off of a credit card. Let's borrow money. Am I going to use my money? Hell no. Okay? So I have to pay the $53,000 for that house and catch up the payment. And again, I have the paperwork with me now. Would you like to have me take over your house? I have a folder, and I'm always prepared. You're never prepared. And when opportunity knocks, you go, shit, I should have done that too. How many are you guilty of that? Come on. Okay? You want it bad enough or no? Every time they told me no, what did I say no was? You're an idiot. Get out of my way. Okay? I don't say it to their face. I think it in my head. I got to figure a way. So I got to get $53,000 right now. We're going to call your bank. Okay? And what are we going to do? I don't take cash. What am I going to use? Borrowed money. Once I have possession and put it where I want, can I play with it more? The goal is to attain the ball. Get the ball. I put the money down on the house. I called it. We saved the house right then and there too. She's crying now. Now I got two babies crying on me. Okay? House is saved. Doesn't ruin their credit. Don't have to do short sale. It's nobody wins but the broker and the bank. All right? Sellers get screwed. And I got the house. House and boat. All right. Now, I'm sorry. I got to ask a question. All right? You have a classic car in your driveway. Yeah, I've got someone picking it up next week. It's for sale. All right, okay. That car there, I don't know if you've ever seen one of those Cobras, that literally, the Shelby Cobra. This is the original, one of the original, I think it was number 6. They put tags on the side. This is number 6 Cobra, okay? How much? Okay, it was worth about 3.2. It was just, it's like, are you nuts? I have to sell it. Okay? What do you want for it? I've got a guy giving me $1.5 million. Okay, I'm taking the money. All right, we're rebuilding our lives, and that's fine. I said, that's been paid for, right? He goes, yeah, it's paid for. All right, it was a gift from my wife. Okay, do you have the pink slip? Now, what am I going to do now? Okay, what am I going to do? Okay? All right, I want to take your pink slip, and I'm going to have a loan put on that car, all right, because I have the form with me now. Okay? What are assets you want to obtain? House, car, boat. Yes or no? Okay, what are the things people lose in an escrow, lose in a bankruptcy, lose in a divorce? House, car, boat. House, car, boat. All right, now, since you've watched me save the house and the boat, will you trust me with the, oh, and the wife grabs it, Ray, you can have it. We love you. You can take, we trust you. You're across the street. You're not going anywhere. So I said, I'm going to bring back to you a cashier's check. You said the guy's giving you $1.5 million. All right, is it okay I give you $1.6 million? Okay. He goes, why would you do that? Why not? So what did I do? I put a loan on the car. I got a car. I got a loan. Who pays for the car? Who pays for the car? The division of the corporation. All right, and then I lease out the car to a movie theater or a movie studio, and they use it in 2 movies. In both movies, they paid me $1.5 million, $1.6 million. All right? It's an asset, but it's a car, and it got paid for. Because everybody sees that car and goes, shit, look at that car. So, did I help him? What did it cost me? Or are you going to start looking at the divorce list? Are you going to look at the divorce list? The only property I go get it in Europe, London, Anaheim Hills, or anywhere else is a divorced couple. I use their equity to buy their own damn house. And they get paid off. I do things on buildings the same way. I love probate. How many probate attorneys can you make a list of in your local area? You're going to make friends with 5 of them. 5 probate attorneys you need to become buddies with. And if you're a good-looking dude, go after the women attorneys. They love to be flattered. If you're a woman, go after the guys. They love to flirt. How do you get into the personality? They've been approached by everybody. How are you going to get them to say yes? You understand that? When I worked for Steve Jobs, I sent my 6-page resume, Federal Express, to office in his home. Home. Federal Express. And I put personal and confidential. He got both sets. He calls me on a Sunday. If anybody has the balls to send this to my house, you're hired. Okay, what time can you show up Monday? Simple. I did it with IBM. I did it with Boeing. I don't do things like normal people because, for God, I don't want to be normal. I'm one of the few. I'm not one of the many. Hell, I don't want to be like you. I don't want you to be like me. But I want you to take the tools and find you. Because today, between now and the next 6 months, you should be targeting 5 damn houses. And you should not use your money to buy the houses. I'm sorry, that's against Ray's rules. Why the hell would you ever use your money? But your biggest problem is you. Procrastination is the killer of a dream. Well, you learn this weekend. All right? That means Monday morning. All right? Sunday night, you should have wrote down your little dialogue. Okay? Every day, you have to add 2 new things to do. Every day. Every day. If you get up at a certain time, you have your routine, write it down, look at it, and then get disappointed in yourself. You should be disappointed in your routine because it sucks. Routine is why life passes you by. Get up earlier, write down your steps, go get it. Okay, through pandemic, loaning money companies, I still close 6 escrows. Okay, I live in an estate. It is oranges, it is avocados, it is basically, I didn't want to tell you, it's 22,000 square feet. My office is 2,000 square feet. Do you understand this? It's not mine. It's not mine. Who does it belong to? God, please help me. It belongs to a trust. It belongs to a trust. I have a problem, and so do you. Who lives in California? Raise your hand if you live in California. This is cumulative property, cumulative debt. Okay? I have a prenup and a postnup. Ladies, you hate me now, don't you? I have a prenup and a postnup. But you didn't ask why I have it. Okay? So there's the question. Okay? Here's the thing. I was married for 20 years. 4 kids, geniuses, PhDs. My 3rd daughter is a CSI for the Justice Department. Got her 3rd PhD at 22, okay? All right, so literally, this is how it works. First wife had an affair for 2 years. Okay, broke my heart. Simple. What did I do? I stayed in the marriage for 12 years in separate beds. I have a problem. If someone touched my daughter, I don't want you to be prosecuted. I will kill you instead. I would rather die, taking care of you. That's just me. So I had to stay in that family for 12 years in separate beds. Everybody knew why we're together, for the family. So simple. Got to protect. And that's what I did. So from there, I had no intention of getting married. Not in your wildest dream. I got houses, I'm worth lots of money, I got cars, yachts, I got everything I want. Okay? I had 5 girls, friends. They knew each other. Okay? I was going to be Hugh Hefner. I was going to be Pimp Daddy. Okay? So my 5 girlfriends and me, They would basically, my bedroom in the harbor was like 2,900 square feet. We literally put 4 beds in the middle of the room. We didn't have one bed, we had 4 king-size beds. Yes, I'm a bad guy. So, but God forgave me. I asked for forgiveness. So, when this beautiful woman came into my office, and I looked, I ran. She's wearing this cute hat. She's gorgeous. It's like, damn. A man can fall in love at first sight. Yes or no, men? Because of the look. All right? Because we are animals. We are conquerors. We're going to attack. That's our nature. I walked the other way. I went to the warehouse. She walked that. Everywhere I went in that office, she was there. She was there. Simple thing. Being there, then it was her birthday like 2 weeks later. She got a job there. All right, simple thing. Somebody knocked on my door. The rules in my office, if you knock on my door, well, it's closed, you're fired. Okay, simple. I could be broadcasting, whatever else. So, I literally announced on the speaker, whoever knocked on my door, please get their paychecks and escort them out of the office, and they were fired. It was her. So my future wife that I didn't know was going to be the future wife, I fired her. Okay? Later that day I go, where's the other girl that was here? You fired her. She's the one who knocked on your door. She came back to pick up something and I asked her, I said, would you like to go out to lunch? Okay? I never take lunch. I took her to Stocks, one of my favorite things to do. So, from there. So all of a sudden, then I find out she likes one of the managers in the office. I'm a guy that will respect. Sorry, I'll back off. Okay, you like the guy. I talked to one of my managers. What about her? I don't like her. Okay, I go back. All right, it's not his interests. All right, I have to go this Friday night to meet a couple clients at a Beverly Hills party. Would you like to go? Okay, I pick her up, we go in the Lamborghini. She says to me, all right, what do you expect this weekend? Or today? She said this weekend. And I go, well, you mean today, right? This is only tonight's date. She misspoke. I grabbed her hand, I kissed it. I said, I just want to give you a kiss tonight, that's it. We got to the party, they parked the Lamborghini, everything else. Here comes Rod. Rod comes up and says, hey, Ray, gives me a hug, everything else. By the way, his name's Rod Stewart. He's been a client of mine forever. He's into Ferraris. I'm into Lambos. Okay? See, with his accent, he says hi to her, kisses her hand, everything else. And it's like, no big deal. I go, do you know who that was? She goes, no. I mean, I've got Eric Roberts here I used to do stunt work for in the room. That's Julie Roberts' brother. Every famous person in the room, and she doesn't know who anybody is. She's, for like 3 months from Mexico, got her nursing degree from Columbia, everything else, and she doesn't know. All right, but there's the manager. I invited him to the party too. He liked my secretary. I wanted to set the tone. The only way I can get a woman to quit looking at a guy and find out he's a dirtbag is to put her right in front of that dirtbag in front of me. Okay? I always get what I want. Do you not know that yet? Okay? This is the thing. You got to start opening. So she saw he was a dirtbag. We sat at the bar. She doesn't drink. I don't drink. We're doing great. We're at a bar. We don't drink. All these famous people having the hors d'oeuvres. She looked at me, and then I touched her face, and I gave her a couple little kisses. I got this. This is mine now. I made her melt. Come on, ladies. When that man kisses you the right way, it's like, damn. Guess what I got? From there, no problem. I fell in love. What happens to my life now? I told her the truth. I have 5 girlfriends. This is my life. I went through a divorce, don't want to get married. No problem. She understands. The next 2 days, 2 weeks later, where'd my girlfriends go? Oh, I kicked them out. You kicked them out of my house? You kicked my girlfriends out of my house? Yes. I said, well, we talked about you not moving in. You're not moving in. I don't want to move in. I said, good. I said, but I'm going to be lonely. No problem. One of the girls who wasn't there calls. And I explained to her, I said, I'm sorry that, we've had a good time. We know there's no connections, blah, blah, blah. All right, I have someone I've basically fallen in love with. And I said the word love. Oh, my God, she heard that. Okay. My soon-to-be wife got very aggressive. She grabbed the phone. Hi, this is Ray's new future bride. Okay, and his phone number is off limits from now on. All right, is that okay with you? Yes, thank you. She blocks the phone, so she can't call anymore. So my wife, ladies, don't take it personal. I just have to be honest. My wife is controlling. She's manipulating. She wants what she wants when she wants it. She is a woman, and I believe all women are the same way. Don't take it wrong, but they want what they want when they want what they want. And if your goal, don't let her hit you, kick you, or pinch you. Your goal is to love her, adore her, and give her everything she wants. Is that true, guys? There you go. You're happy now. So, procrastination sucks. Stop doing it. Because you've been procrastinating, it sucks. I mean, you put out things all the time. It's ridiculous. Time, I don't control it. But this morning, got up at 2:25, thank God. Did my mirror test, got my shower, went to my office, did a bunch of work, changed banks. I went to a bank on this way, did this and that, tracked all that, got the office, sent out emails. I told everybody at the office what I expect today, and I gave them an opportunity to impress me, because when the boss is away, the cat play. So I told them exactly what I expected to do. And this is what I would have done today. I made it basically impossible to achieve it. Because they won't achieve the goal, but they'll achieve half of it, right? Get them to chase. I control the time I've been given. Okay? To me, it's like anything in my life. I see it, I pray over it, and I go get it. What happens today if you do what I say, and there's a house that you see on a divorce list? What do? That is your goal, right? Okay, the first thing is you go to Zillow or whatever it is, and you find it on the internet. Is that correct? Okay, and then you find out when the next open house is. You find out the realtor is. You track and see how long it's been listed. You just matched a dot from divorce list to house that's not sold. It's been in the market 200 days. What is that telling you? It's overpriced. Okay? Divorced people keep their houses up because they want to sell it. Probate people die, their house was good. Fixer-uppers suck because they don't treat them good. So that house you just saw has to create a goal, but an activity list, yes or no? Okay? As you're doing this, you also have to do a title search. Because when you meet the agent, they're not going to want to help you. The broker doesn't want to help you. Okay? The only one's going to help you is the couple that hate each other and their attorneys. Okay? Because you're going to find out what the balance is on a title search. Is that correct? You know what's owed on it. You know what it's worth. You know what you can get out of the house. And when you have that meeting, if they're attorneys, you're going to request, you're going to negotiate. And I'm going to show you how to put a lien, which is a note on that house, to take it to the bank to suck out the equity, to pay them off and say bye-bye. Because that house is now yours. Is it yours? Is it yours? Whose is it? It's a division of a corporation. What should a corporation have? What should a corporation have? Wrong. What should a corporation have? Just credit. A corporation should never have employees, suppliers, and creditors. Okay? Employees will stab you in the back. Is that true, yes or no? 80% suck. They should be hired by agencies. So next. 20% are worth a damn. That's it. That's what I've figured out over my life. 20% are the worth keepings. Finding your voice is very difficult. You're going to have to decide something. Building your future. I heard house, I heard this and that. Okay? Your goal list has to be what you want. Okay? Don't always look at tangible. Like I said in the beginning, write down what you want to do for other people first. All right? Self-motivation is self-doubt. You won't happen. If I make my wife happy, how is she happy? My wife is a hoarder. I'm the neatest person in the world. My closet knows what I'm wearing for the next 32 days. It's in order. If a drawer is open, I got to go close it. If the bottles are wrong, I got to straighten them out. It bugs the crap out of me. Okay? We've had houses. My wife has so much crap. Out of all the garages, I'm lucky I get one because of all the crap from her chickens, from the dogs, from the orchard, through the hobby, through this outreach. So I've watched my wife drive the truck at Pavilions and Target through the church because we do outreach programs. Our house, when those garages and certain rooms are a mess, I close my eyes when I walk through. I can't stand it. I wanted to blow up yesterday. I wanted to scream because there's only one thing I asked my wife to do. Make sure you put 10 sets of books together so they're prepared for the boot camp. All right? And I was told they're done. I got told what I wanted to hear. What were we doing at 6 and 7 o'clock last night before the kids got to go in the pool? Putting books and CDs in a box. Okay, honey, my kids and my wife knew Daddy's upset. Now, if I blew, what would happen? Yes, so what did I do? I bit my tongue and I shut up. So, now, what's going to happen in your life tomorrow, next week, and the week from now? What problem are you going to have to experience? No, you have to plan something. If you're working on a project, a house, a car, a boat, whatever it is, or your business, I'm telling you, you have to plan the problem. Because by planning it, it gives you a backup and a backup, as you hear me all the time. If you have a problem, is there someone in your life you think you cannot trust? Friend, family, somebody around you. Could it be a problem? But again, you have to put on the guard and the what? Defensive circle. You have to be prepared. Because there's one thing about me. What am I afraid of? How bad does it scare me? It terrifies me. That's in my pocket every day. Okay? All right? Thank you. This stack is in my pocket every day. If I need $1 million, it's in my hand. Okay? All right? So at any given time, if I need money, do I have it? Okay? Behind a driver's license, behind a credit card, behind something else, I always put an extra $100 bill. I have a backup for a backup. Make sense? Because this morning, I went to the banks around here, and my problem is I'm used to taking out $1,000 on an ATM machine. Do you take out $1,000? Yeah. Here, they only let you do 500. So, between this and this, I have extra cash, not carrying the cash in my other pocket. So I have to take it out of my pocket because I always have $100 bills hidden around me. Okay? Do you have safety money in your pocket? Yes or no? Is it in the same wad and you basically look at that money all the time, or do you have an extra $100 somewhere behind a license or something? Okay? Because I'm telling you, safety. All right? When I was a little kid, this one lady was kind of nice. She used to call it her hide back money. Okay? So extra cash. So I'm just telling you, I went to the ATM. I needed $1,000. All right? Between Zelle and everything else, I needed some cash. Okay? I need to put it in another account that's not connected to this. So what did I have to do? I Zelled and I did a cash this. It only gives me $500. What? And then here's the thing. You ever had the devil be on your shoulder? All right, Murphy's Law. Well, let's see. I said, lower the amount. So I did. on the second try. The third try says you can't use this card today. You ever had things just keep kicking your, okay, 4 times. So by the time I was solving a problem, because we had a Zelle sent to us that said credited, but then for some reason it got stuck and it says now 3 days. Don't count on the money when it says it's there because it's really not there until you verify. So again, what did I have to do? The backup for a backup. Okay, I have to live by backup for backup. Because there's one thing when I drive home every day. Okay, our driveway is 2,200 square feet, 2,000 some odd feet. You get to one gate, you get to the next gate, you open up, there's the house. Every bit of shit stays outside that gate. When I go see that wife, there's one thing, I always grab my wife's ass. I hug her, that's my ass. I got in trouble in church one time because they saw me hug her and I always grab her butt. That's what a man does, okay? I'm sorry, it's just what it is. So, well, Ray, don't do that. So, hey, this is how I hug my wife. I'm going to chase my wife, catch her as many times as I can. Okay? Next thing is the kids. I got to be super dad. They want to go in the pool. They want to do this. I want to do that. You could be exhausted. Get a 5-hour energy and put it in your car. Drink it just before you go in. You're going to need the energy. Line of defense. Shit's going to happen. Get used to it. When you see that grocery store and that bank that filed bankruptcy, you watched cities file bankruptcy, didn't you? When you saw that, did you do anything? No. You didn't do anything. You saw a city file bankruptcy. You heard the city file bankruptcy. Me, I'm curious. I'm going to tear apart everything I can and find out about that bankruptcy. When Citron, Robert was basically accused of the crap in Orange County and filed that bankruptcy. Simple. My thing was, what happened? I researched everything. I got everything I could. How can a city file bankruptcy? Damn. Oh, it's a Chapter 9 bankruptcy. Let's for Chapter 9. What's a Chapter 15 bankruptcy, people? What's a Chapter 11? What's 7? What's 12? What's 9? See, now you know 9 is city. 11 is reorganization for corporate unless you made too much money. A 7 is a straight 7. A 12 is for farmers. A 15 is you're going from one state to the second state. You're joining states in the bankruptcy. It's a 15. So again, I need to know what they did. If you tore apart something, what else somebody else did you learn anything sometimes? You learn something almost every time? Okay? So again, life passes you by because you're allowing it to be boring because you're in routine. When something new happens, dissect it. When the gold standard was taken out, my question was why? Why? Because we need to print more money and we can't print money just off the gold reserve because we don't have enough gold. There's the answer. So they print more money. Every card you got in your personal wallet. Do you have cards today? I want to ask if there's a sticky. But what does the card have to be? Okay. Juan still has one of 39. That 39 will not give me as much over here. But if I'm going to put the peg in the hole, all right, or if I'm going to shoot something, or I'm going to throw a dart, the bullseye's right there. Do I get a bullseye if it's outside the bullseye? So do you want a bullseye? I mean, there's a science behind the madness. Everyone has to be to the point. You bring the pain home because of why? Ignorance, lack of knowledge. But again, how can we make sure we don't bring the pain home from now on? How can we make sure we don't bring the pain home from now on? Okay. Well, first we look at house. We draw a line. I said we draw a line. I hope that we meant get out your damn pen. Okay. All right. House. A car. Okay. We have to figure this out. Corporation. Division. 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 Line of what? Defense. Okay? This corporation has a problem. The corporation is the problem. Why? Because if you do business as a corporation, who's the duck? Okay? All right. People tell me I do a corporation because of asset protection. BS. There's no ass to protect. And the corporation is sued. They look at the officers listed as you. They pierce the veil. You're a duck. Okay? Who likes to be a duck? So again, the divisions. This is a house. Okay? I want your house upside down. How do I put it upside down? I close escrow. I homestead. All right? I put a second lien on the house. I do an assignment of asset. I put it in a trust. So, the house is homestead. California is $175,000. Okay? Problem is, people are going to tell you the homestead is set up for husband and wife. No, I want husband and wife to file a separate form. It's only $12. It's whoever lives in that house. So homestead protects $175. I do a second trust deed. I pledge the equity. It's called an assignment of equity. Okay, it's going to go into a trust. I'm going to do an assignment of asset. I'm going to quickly deed it to the trust. Who owns the house? The trust. If I die, who owns the house? If my wife dies, who owns the house? If we both die, who owns the house? If they sue me, can they sue my wife? Why? It's in the trust. I told you I have a prenuptial agreement, postnuptial. Okay, and the reason I have that is, this is going to connect your dots. When I went through basically coma and indicted because of blah, 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 because my ex-wife told the government my new wife is the granddaughter of the head of the mob in Colombia. And grandma was killed in 2011 in the airport. So, wife ran away from Colombia, ran away from Mexico here. Okay, she's Colombian. She must be doing drugs and cocaine, right? So I got indicted because they said I was laundering money. Okay? I make sure I'm so audible, it's simple. So what happens is, through the indictment, okay, they said after audits, we found nothing. I said, the only witness is the ex-wife. I gave her $15,000 a month for 2 years. I paid all her bills for 2 years after I left. I still was a dirtbag. So, basically, they said, okay, no problem. All right, off the record, you were never guilty. That's nice. All right, isn't that nice? A small little print here. I love the small print. So what happens is, okay, all right, I had a prenup and postnup with my first wife too. My postnup says one thing. If I cheat, you get everything we have. If you cheat, I get it all. Make sense? All I ever wanted was a cheat clause. Understand this? Because my ex-wife cheated. So again, now what happens in California being a community property community debt state, all right, when they assessed it, they gave me a tax bill because they invested it. I got the bill for their investigation. How's that? I got billed for not being guilty of anything, and they said I was wrong. They were wrong, and I was right. So I have a tax credit of $385,000. Just take it off that. Oh, we can't do that. It's a different department. Okay. Then the assessor from the government, federal government, says, we're going to assess your current wife. And the judge there, and Jonathan, one of the strongest #1 attorneys on California, and Rich Walton, who teaches at UCLA, who's one of my attorneys and friends, and I've done lectures for him too. All right, literally say and stand up, Your Honor, I'm sorry. We need to interrupt right here because he's going to ask you to do an assessment. If I don't interrupt, I have to correct it. You have to undo what you have to do. Okay, my client here has a prenup and a postnup. And the judge goes, you got to be kidding me. What did you do, yesterday? No, sir. It was signed by 19 attorneys 5 days after they were married. All right, and it's been enforced for over 10 years. And the attorney sat down and goes, oh, shit. They wanted to assess the current wife the same tax bill. You see, here's our problem. Okay? The prenup and postnup, they cannot assess anything that's my problem or her problem. When you were sued, this is the wife, okay? They can hurt her. When she is sued, they can hurt you. Do you have a house? Are you both on the title? Tell the truth.
The trust.
About.
Trustee.
Okay, did you learn something from me or you did it on your own? Okay, that's good. Who's got a house and husband and wife on both title? Because that's called stupid. Okay? Our house, even through pandemic and stuff, I've never bought a property with my wife. It's always a married person, sole and separate property. Understand? Because I don't want to buy a property with her. I don't want her to buy it with me. We get 2 chances. Understand? So our goal is the house has to be protected. Who owns the car? The registered owner is sued. Has to be a what? The lien holder has to be the corp. So what we have to do is protect what you have today. If you do not plan your assets today, when you are sued, you are what?
Liable.
They're going to take it away. Okay? If you don't protect it beforehand, they're going to say, oh, you did it just because of this problem. No. I'm afraid to be broke. So the goal is the car. You're the registered owner of your car today. Why would you do that to you? That means you got the loan in your name. That means if you lose the car, you're basically going to get a 1099-C from the IRS. They can give you a 1099-C because of the unclaimed income that company lost. They reverse it back to income to you. So again, we have to protect the house. Okay? The corporation, when it becomes profitable, will have an LLC in Nevada. All right, and it's going to have the stock. We're going to go through this in more detail. Anything that's here. Now, keep in mind, when this is profitable, you need a nonprofit. We got to go into that. Okay? I can't name any rich and famous person I ever incorporated. I did not do a package of nonprofit and profit simultaneously to offset taxes. Everybody wants to be the hero. Okay? So this is what's called the pattern of 3. Okay? You're going to learn about the pattern of 5 as well. So the goal is today, if you're going to plan the problem, all right, in the line of defense, you first got to cover your assets. You got to cover your ass today. Is that correct? Everything in your life you have to dissect. Everything in your life you dissect. The only one who can control 25 to 29% rule on credit is who? I want your credit to be boring. Boring. In the future, I want you to be a member of Experian.com. Not just Credit Karma because it's free. Credit Karma's problem is it only updates every 7 days. It's wrong. It's not a true score. It's not a true green light. I get people, I got green lights, Ray. Pop it, pop it, pop it. I look in the dashboard. I'm sorry. If I get one of these from my easiest dashboard, which happens sometimes, and I get one of these that says no thank you, and I get people with bad credit that means you're not getting a card. Do you understand that? I will always run this before I run anything because Credit Karma is not accurate. Do you understand this? Okay, I need accurate information. Okay, if you allow me to pop the credit, I'm going to try to pop as much as I can. So again, if I get one of these, that's what sucks. So you have the ability, all right, and I know it's not fun because the hardest thing is you want it now, all right? You want it like yesterday, and we want it yesterday. And as far as you're concerned, we're sitting there doing nothing, and you spend a lot of money, and we're wondering what the hell's going on. Correct? Yes.
What about my FICO?
Okay, what about it?
Is that more accurate?
It's accurate, but the reality is if I go right to Experian.com, I can look at all 3. I can pay them, all right, they'll give me the score, and they'll actually update it themselves. Their system, if you pay the update, say I want to get my score, it's not a boost. I don't believe in their boost crap. Okay, when Yarborough, I'm the guy that created the fact you can report your own stuff. It's on the reports. You could do that too. So what happens is if I basically pay an extra fee, they'll recalculate the score now. Okay, that creates green lights there too. Okay, or averages. So again, we cannot guess. Until you met me, were you guessing yes or no? Okay, this is not a guess. We're putting the peg in the hole. We want it to work. Okay, I want your credit to be boring. I stay at an 841. My wife stays at an 843. Our credit is just what we use for the personal life, separating the bills. We're over here. This is the play area. If I want to try, it's a division. Because what can I do to a division? I can disconnect, I can isolate, I can incorporate. Bankruptcy is a reality of one thing. Okay, we got to go into bankruptcy because if you bankrupt the corporation, all right, and you tried to save things below it, you kind of screwed yourself up. Do you have a cheat sheet for yourself yet? For the cards you have? Remember, if it's not a sticky or a cheat sheet, I mean, $500 card, I can only spend $125 to $145. That's not a lot of money, right? But people have to quit living off their credit. See, people live off their credit. Is this correct? You've got to stop living off that credit. Because when you take it past 29%, that's where you screwed up. You got to make sure you're not living off the credit. If you qualify to use the CFO, the corporation gets its own credit. That's what you live off of. Just like they announced 2 weeks ago on the news. Rich people borrow money to pay their bills because it's not taxable. So again, the best thing you can ever remember at corporations are what? Okay? But you never want to bankrupt the corporation. You never want to bankrupt the corporation because you have a corporate umbrella. Okay? As we create an umbrella, the goal is, all right, when I design the way the divisions are today, that's an umbrella. If the corporation does not create liability but has credit, all right, what liability do you really have? The greatest thing about screw up or things that happen in a corporation or business, you know before anyone else knows. Is that true? You know every time when things screwed up. Okay? If you bankrupt a corporation itself, you lose everything below the umbrella. If you bankrupt a corporation, you're in front of a trustee. A trustee is usually an attorney or a forensic accountant. All right? You're raising your hand and saying da 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 da. They pierce the veil. If you had a creditor that sued you, then they're going to look in your pockets. Does that make sense? If you did not protect your house, what are you going to lose? Okay? When the inventor of video pong, I don't know if you remember the little stop signs and go bing, bing, bing back and forth in the 72 and 73 area. Okay, I lived in his house. There was the garage at 1074 Reading Avenue, Costa Mesa. When Atari and Nintendo stole his idea, he had patents there, everything. This man was so right, he wasted $12 million to fight a battle, and they had $100 million. What happened to him eventually? Bankrupt, he lost his house. When you try to fight someone who's got $100 million and you got nothing, the reality is, good luck. Because they ran him through money. Nowadays, things are different. It's like the guy who invented the Razor scooter. He finally won. Okay, because they stole that too. All right, everybody in your life will steal from you to make a buck. Everybody will lie. Okay, and if they don't, that's great. Just pretend they do. You got an idea, don't have it done in China. Because they're making the product before they deliver your first product to you. Okay, you're going to get screwed. I worked with the tequila program. Okay, and what happens through Mexico, IBM, and U.S. It was called the Triangle Act. And it was basically through the Mexico Maquiladoras program. Through Brownfield, it's duty-free. So what happens is we put manufacturing facilities there and all kinds of fun stuff. Okay, that's fine. All right, but again, what happens is you got to protect you. Okay, you can come with an idea. If you ever look up the cartoon, Huey, Louie, and Dewey, I invented it, I wrote it, I gave it to this man. He said he was going to get it published for me because he was a video pong, blah, blah, blah. He sold it, my name's not even on it. I tucked it away years ago till my son found a box in the garage. Daddy, this is all yours. He looked online. Your name's not on that. I go, what can I tell you? All right? So the people you have around you, be cautious. You never bankrupt this. If blank hit the fan, and this is the line of defense, who knows there's a problem first? You. Is that true? That gives you the time to literally disconnect, isolate, incorporate. You have to fight for 4 to 6 months to try to save it. But what did you turn it into? A division cannot file bankruptcy. A division can never file bankruptcy, ever. Ever. So how important is divisions for you to master those every which way you can? How, the 10 credit cards we get, how do I get more? A division. I can't get any more. How am I going to get more? Okay? Division. So I have to master that a corporation is a legal person. When it came up with 17900A3, what am I? I'm a person that tear apart things. Okay, as a kid, I tore apart the Singer sewing machine. I want to know how it worked. I put it on the skateboard, the motor with 100-foot extensions. I want to see if that would work. It worked. I got beat. It worked better for her after I put it back together, and she never said thank you. But what does it say here? Doing business in its own name, as it's shown on articles of a corporation, is not required to file a fictitious business name statement. Now, what does that mean to me? Why? Why? I will always push you to ask the word why. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why did you tell me to do this? Why? Why makes you tear apart things? When you tear apart things, 17900A3, what about the DBA? I can cancel this, do this, I don't need this, but what if I want this too? Then I'm looking, it says husband and wife and partner. It's wrong. We modify it 5 times. The division's now known. Every city in California, they have their own little form. They make it confusing. Some states don't even use the DBA form. They made it on the business license. I have a client who's in a state right now. It says, Ray, they took away the DBA form, all right, and they want me to do on the business license that connects it all together. I go, yes, it does. All right, and he says, what am I going to do? I said, why don't you ask the word why? Why? Okay? They wanted to get rid of that process. Ray, what's the solution? Tell me the solution. Okay? He goes, I can't figure it out, Ray. I said, we get a business license for every division from now on. How hard is that to figure out? Oh, shit, Ray, I can't believe I can't figure this shit out. You got to think differently. Do you understand this? If they told you to jump here, and then they change the rules, you got to jump over here. Why? And then how do I jump here? It's the same process. So when you put it in your head, you got to understand several things. Our goal is, could you set up a corporation when you were 18 years old? Yes or no? You should have incorporated you. I'm sorry, being you sucks. I have 2 choices with the IRS. It's simple. I can get an SS4 or SSN. Which one I can only get one of? SSN. I'm a duck. All right, I can't get more than one. How am I supposed to fight? How am I supposed to create a business? I only got one tax ID, one social security number. I get tax IDs left and right, corporation, division, subsidiary, but I got one SSN. I don't have to be a duck. Everybody, and I watch people, especially, it seemed like women bitch the more about rich and famous people. Sorry, ladies. But they go, rich and famous people, they just pay, they got loopholes and it's like, shut up. There's no loophole. You got a choice. Shut up and join them. They're a corporation. They know how to play. Now, remember, all the rich and famous people have subsidiaries. They don't have divisions. Understand, they do not have divisions. A division is the DBA of a corporation. They have a corporation owning a corporation. In 95, they wanted you to have 5 corps. I said, no, that makes no sense. That's why divisions became so popular. No one wanted to pay all the franchise tax fees and all the crazy stuff. They haven't made any money yet. So again, subsidiaries of corp owning a corp. Then they can bankrupt while they're connected. Divisions can't bankrupt. So it gives you more steps. Understand? We got to make sure you know before something screws up. But again, if they sue this, they can sue this, especially if they're the same name. We have to make sure we break it down. We understand one thing. Raise rules. It makes sense to me. Okay? If I take my credit and I have $100,000 of personal credit, all right, does my wife have $100,000? Does she have $100,000 too? Or is it joint? Never joint. That's against the law. That's against Ray's law. No, she got her own $100,000. I got my $100,000. It's a safety. Okay, my wife likes to shop. I'm allergic to the mall. I will not go to a store. If I go in, my children go with me to Home Depot and they know one thing. All right, I've looked on my phone, I found the location, and I've asked the guy. I am in, asked the guy, location, there it is, boom, boom, boom. All right, I'm out. I can't stand being in a store. It just makes me want to just choke to death and die. It just, My wife, they love to window shop, whatever that means. I always say, then buy the damn window. But again, safety credit. I had a problem this morning. I had a backup. I used the backup. You know what the hardest thing this last year was for me? Not going past 29% when I needed to for the company. I needed to so bad. And juggle your stuff. It's like, damn, okay, I can jack this card up if I do, and if I play that stupid game, if I pay it off before it's due, it won't show it on the credit reports. But from there, I'll tell you what, Monica, who's that? Give me on the phone. Hey, Don, I need $1,000. Can you send it to me today? And he sent me $1,000. Did I solve my problem? What do I do with Don? I give him some more goodies. Is that correct? Okay. Is that how it works? The wheel keeps turning because the business is a wheel. So again, there's my life. I don't break the rules. I will not hurt my family. I'd rather die. Okay, but it's in autopilot. I like autopilot. Corporation. Don't name it after you. That's called stupidity. Then you go raise rules, raise credit. That's a marketing company. Okay, raise credit is an S corp. And I hate S corps. Okay? But an S corp is for marketing purposes only. There's no liability. Does that make sense? The reason I don't want an S corp, we'll dissect it more, is because you own it. You told the world it's you. It's like beating your chest. Mine. Wrong. So again, don't name it after you. Don't name it what it does. I get so many people that name it what it does, and they go, well, how am I going to have other businesses? Because it does. I get another corp. No. It becomes a division because you have multiple functions. Our goal is to make sure division for houses, franchises, current business. How do I multiply credit? How do I multiply it? How do I multiply? If I don't multiply it through a division or another name, okay, that means simple. Here's the Chase Bank telling me, you can't get that, you can't, just like, this is my receipts. All right, 3 times in a row. So, but again, it's, I'm in Riverside versus, Orange County or something. How do I get these cards to multiply? Well, I like gold and platinum cards. Okay? And I always get people to give me a little comment on the side. Is that card even active? Does that say 22? Does that say 22? Does that say 21? Does that say 22? Does that say 22? I never show anything that's not active, ready to go. Because there's always some turd in the bowl that wants to do what? Give you crap. Okay? I was in a lecture about a year or 2 years ago, and Eric Hall, Professor Eric Hall, a bunch of people in the room, he goes, Ray, that credit's probably what you had before the coma. I go, you dare, knowing me for 30 years, you say that, you turd. He goes, I'm not the turd in the bowl. I said, you said it, not me. But again, why are these good? Why are they good? Okay, so you got some rules. First thing is, it's a card. It's all right, paid over time. Make sure it's always paid on time. If it's not paid over time, whatever you use, you got to pay that month. Got it? Paid over time. I can only get this card to grow if I max it out. Write it down, because you better understand this. I can only get this card to grow if I max it out. It will not grow unless I max it out. As I keep maxing it out, paying payments, I can max it out. I can ask for more what? Limit, 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 up, 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 and away. I cannot get more. And I don't teach this on certain things in webinars because I'm afraid someone's going to use it and abuse it. And someone's going to knock on my door like they did basically in Anaheim Hills a couple of years ago because a client at a Billionaire group didn't pay his credit, and they go, you told him he didn't have to pay it. If you screw this up, I would be the first one to testify against you in a court of law. Okay? Because you're supposed to do this the right way. First thing is, I cannot max it out or get it to $1 million unless I basically max it out and increase the limit. They will give you a major purchase item line of credit. A major what? They will do that personal or business. The personal is usually $50,000. The business is between $50 to $75. We understand. This card is priceless. The only card on the planet I don't have to worry about 29%. Only one. Gold and platinum. That's personal or business. So when my wife goes shopping and I asked her a question, I have to ask her today, you went to Sam's Club, why would you use your debit card? She knows I'm going to give her a bad time. Because you don't use cash for supply. Got it? You use the supply card where you're at. Okay? So again, the cards, great. Paid over time, max it out, push it up, gives me a line of credit, personal and business. How do I get another one? I want another one. Division. They now, since about a year ago, American Express, Chase now asks if you have a DBA of a corporation. Okay, so the application, that's a good thing. Now, here's the biggest mistake you'll do. You get both of them add them to the same dashboard. No. No, we're going to go over this many times. I want every card to have a separate dashboard. Because they'll actually average your line of credit limit because you put them on the same damn dashboard to make it convenient for you. Do not be convenient for you. I want it to grow. Okay? Now, American Express, these are blues. What good are they? What good are they? Blue cards are worth $50,000 apiece. Okay? I can pop one for every division. I can pop one for me. I got one for me and I got them for the divisions. But these are dangerous. Because if I take them past what? 29%, what happens to the score? Drop. So if you don't maintain the discipline, some of you in the past have said, oh, I screwed up, Ray. Oh, Ray, I screwed up. Well, no. All right, when you screw up, you screw me up. Is that correct? All right, because you just took everything unbalanced. Your goal is to make sure business, personal, and cards to play with. Again, as I drop them on the floor. But what do you see behind every card? I have to have a reminder. Now, I became, and it's not for me, I became my wife's secretary when I married her. I did not know I would be a secretary. Okay? My wife having a baby, she's going crazy, all right, all kinds of fun stuff. I made her a list one day, and when we first got together, I love to cook. I'm a chef. And you let me go in that kitchen, I'll turn something into nothing. Just like, as a kid, I used to watch the Galloping Gourmet. I don't know if you remember him or not. I could turn something into nothing. But after I got married, my wife says, you're not allowed in the kitchen. That's mine. Okay, yes, dear. I go, why? She goes, we have a group of people coming over. You're going to show me up. Okay, you cook better than I do. Okay. So again, main thing is she's going crazy. I made her a list one day. 2 days later was my list. I made you a list to help you that day. I'm not doing you a list every day. All right, where's my list? Where's my list? Every day, every morning. It's not funny, ladies. Okay? There's her list for yesterday. Okay, I am a secretary. And the ladies think it's funny. Our goal is, this is your life. This is your balance. If you take a chance to buy a house, a boat, a yacht, whatever you want to buy, who takes the chance? The division. How fast can I have a division? How fast can I get one? Right away. Write down DBA store. That's right, make sure you understand how to dance. In California and other states, they have something called the DBA store. You can go online, you can pay for a division, all that stuff. It's great. I helped set it up years ago, make it easy for people. They usually go down to the Daily Journal or something, they'd file the papers, they publish it, all that great stuff. Okay? A division is a what? Legal person. Why? A division is a DBA of a corporation, still is a legal person. A division is for the bank to use as division word or business license. Any other time we say the word what? Corporation. Because a corporation is a division's a corporation. Okay, well, you tell the word division, they're going to want you to sign the parent company. You got to walk away. I'm not signing that lease. Because now you just tied up the umbrella. Okay, you cannot tie up your umbrella. You tie up your umbrella, who's the duck? Okay, you've got to realize this is a battle. Do you want to win or lose? When you lose, I want you to win. Is that okay? How I lose, I'll win every time. Every time I'll win. I did my research. I taught cross the T's, dot the I's. Our goal is this. We have to understand our battle is here. It's the IRS. The IRS, is it your friend? Is it your enemy? Okay, the IRS is a government agency, which is a corporation that regulates money and transfer and dictates to everybody. They're the bullies of the world. That's okay. How do we play with the IRS? We don't fight them. We play by their rules. We honor them. Okay? The people that work there are the bullies. The system's not. Okay, there's the difference. So IRS, public record, Social Security card, we see what it says, but the tax ID, what does it say? Okay, we have to realize that SS4, how many can I get? Okay, as many as I need. You can't, want's okay, but need is more important. Okay, because again, someone's going to twist what you say. Now, when the cities filed bankruptcy, what did I do? I researched. I wanted to find out exactly why. How does a city file bankruptcy? How? This is the city. They collect money. There's taxes. This is impossible. How would they file bankruptcy? These are city government. But what did they do? They planned the problem. It's a Chapter 9 bankruptcy. City can file bankruptcy, wipe out the debt, and stay in business. Then why can't I? Why can't I? Why do I have to file bankruptcy? I filed bankruptcy in 2010. It's public record, people. Came out of coma, finally came out of coma. I'm in debt. Everybody's coming at me at one time, and all my shit's stolen. I'm homeless again. All right, 2011. It's like, are you crazy? So guess what? I had to file bankruptcy. But I know how to make my credit report disappear and put it over here in a week. Okay? I know how to put the good stuff to the new report and leave the old one over here too. I know how to play peekaboo. All right? Why? Because I help set up the system. I know how to get what I want, when I want, how I want, because I always get what I want. So again, bankruptcy. States, cities, United States of America. Our goal is to understand something right now. Okay, Apple. How could an Apple computer be in bankrupt? 97. They were dead, out of business. Why did Bill Gates get indicted? Okay, because he what? He was controlling the process of what he invented. And basically he was not letting the competition play the game. He got indicted 4 times, stepped down as president of his own company. Had to. At the time, he was the richest guy in the world for over 10 years. You know, they kept saying 92 billion, this billion, that billion, here a billion, everywhere a billion. But he wrote a check to Apple, saved their assets. Your research should be for you to check out bankruptcy. Okay? Because you have to understand something. You might have to go to battle. The battle might be the trustee. You intended to do this. I'm your creditor. I'm saying you're a liar. You screwed me out of my money. You don't want to pay me. Okay? You're a student of Reynolds. Okay? This is going to happen. If you show you have tried to save this entity and you have the evidence, then it basically says you did the right thing. Did you let a division go bye-bye? I will never let a division go bye-bye. Why would I do that? All my work. Okay, something happened to make it get rid of it. It's a bad one. But again, it always reminds me of Bonnie's Cupcakes on Shark Tank. They didn't want to save her. They should have had someone on side save her. 3 locations doing great. Attorney and husband get more locations. It drained everything. $800,000 in debt. She's drowning. You know. But again, bankruptcy, SSN, SS4. It's right on that. I just downloaded it the other day. I got 1 SSN. I got how many SS4s? I have the ability to try. As long as I'm trying, I'm not dying. If I'm not trying, I might as well be dead. I have to understand something. How do you replace yourself? If you do everything I say on the side, here's our personal life, 29%, it's boring. We make you the CFO. Okay, here's the truth. Juan has the ability now, as CFO, as he fine-tunes. I got him a corporate card, got him the 2, we're fine. Gold here, got him a capital 1. Okay, he had 4 accounts. 2 were not very good anyway. Now he's got more meat, is that correct? I open up the corporate credit report. I got a Chase Inc. card. Now I'm going to get some more get some more business cards, right? I balance these 2. He's doing good. From now on, he should make sure he does not use his credit for himself to go past 29% and just be the CFO. Is that correct? He's on that line that I can make it or screwed up again. Some of you have done that before. Okay? So you're on that line. If I just stay tight to this and I stay to raise rules and I'm boring here, I got the new corporate card. I stay to the rules. Chase cards, personal or business, no interest for 18 months. I like that. Even if the corp can absorb it or write it off, I still like it. I can ask for a checkbook. I get checkbooks to Capital Ones. Again, I like checkbooks. So again, if he does what he's told and he plays it right and we build that corporate credit, his target now on the divisions is what am I going to do next to make money? Okay, I already got my 1 business. Okay, I'm making the money. I'm paying the bills. What am I going to do to expand or do more to make more money? The game begins. So those divisions, we now need to clone credit. If a division has the money, can it go get the honey? It takes money to get honey. Come on. Honey can be the house or the car. So can it go do it? We got to do separation of credit. The only way we can multiply. And you have to separate you and you got to rebuild you. I also want you to set up a division of you. I want you to realize you will have to guarantee something in the future. I don't want it to be you guaranteeing it. I want it to be the division of you. I want you to do DB of you under the corporation. Eventually it'll have its own damn tax ID. It'll have its own credit report. Nowhere does it say that I have to use a Social Security or a tax ID to build credit for personal. Every personal application you see today allows you SSN, okay, or Social Security number, yes or no? So that means the law is very simple under the Fair Lending Act. You can apply under SSN or SS4 if you build the report. Yes.
My question is, how do you do you said do a DBA of you?
Yes. I'm going to go through everything I'm talking about in steps, believe me. All right, you're going to make sure you've mastered things this weekend. Some are going to, I love that. Again, I heard that too much. I like this more. Okay, but again, we have to cover it because I want a DB of you. If he rolls the dice and he has to guarantee a building from now on, listen carefully. The division guarantees the building because it's a corporation. They ask for a guarantee. Who's guaranteeing? The DBA of you. Don't you ever guarantee, all right, from you personal. You're not allowed to. It's against Ray's law. You guarantee something from you, I'm going to tell you to your face, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Yes.
When you talk about DBA of myself, for instance, can I use different names and it still be?
Okay. If you write a resolution of permission, okay, and you give a purpose. I have 14 pen names. Okay. Again, I've been writing since I was a kid. I've been drawing since I was a kid. Okay, and I've written songs for famous people. I can't sing, all right, but they love my writing, okay? And I've actually written for some rappers because for some reason in my life, rhyming just comes to me. And my wife says, stop rhyming. Okay, I don't try. Okay, I told stories to my kids. You give me 2 animals or 2 names of people, and I'll write you a book in 5 minutes. I do it every night with the kids going to bed. They record and they turn them into books. Okay, I just have a gift of rhyming. I don't know why. Okay, so if I rhyme, sorry, that's just me. And the wife says, stop rhyming. Well, that's just me. I want a division of you. I don't want to see and hear about you in 5 years from now. You made $1 million and you friggin' screwed it up. Okay, you tell me your division of you screwed it up. The division screwed it up, but not you. Because you can have 10 divisions of you. Okay? Again, you stop being you because you have the right not to be you. Because sometimes being you sucks. Come on. This is my dashboard. This is what I get to see every time I'm popping credit. What is my concern? SIC code. Every dashboard for creditors has that. The bank says it. The moment you're sitting at that bank, what is he or she doing? They're asking you 20 questions to describe your business because their question after the name of the company is the SIC code. They appoint what they want as high risk. You have to pick it for them. That's why you got to look at that as standard industrial code. You got to know what to do. You got to label yourself not risk, low risk. Corporations are doing business. It's managing companies, is it not? You name any rich and famous person today, their parent company doesn't do business, it owns companies. Is this correct? They're playing the same game, but they have subsidiaries, you have divisions. And you're learning to master your techniques. SSN, SS4. Debt falls either one. Again, what am I creating? Reports on both. When he gets that, let's say he gets that Chase card. He uses it, adds a dashboard. What's it doing now? It's reporting to Experian Transient Equifax under tax ID. Is that what we want? Tax ID. Now, I'm going to teach him how to daisy chain his corporate division and set up a division of him and daisy chain back to him because he has an account. If you have an account, shouldn't we daisy chain it every way we can? Why leave it loose? Okay? So we can daisy chain everywhere across the board because your goal is this. Just like when I got stuck having 17 houses at 19. All right, I couldn't get to 18. The loan to value is killing me. It's not possible. How'd you get 17? I put them in divisions. What did I do? I freed up my credit report. Here's our problem in life. Okay? Our biggest problem right now is you get a paycheck. If you work somewhere, that's good. That paycheck hopefully offsets by your house payment. That's good. Next thing is corporation, all the money coming in. If you can have every bit of money you have come into a corporation but your paycheck, that's fine. You get to pay all the bills first and then pay tax. Tax is due when you're profitable. Okay? You know, I love the fact the news a week and a half ago literally said everything I've been teaching for 43 years. It's like they've never done it before. It's great. Thank you. Let's yell it to the world. Rich and famous people use borrowed money to pay their personal bills. There's no tax. That's not a loophole. That's just the game. So again, doesn't matter who you mention. Every one of them plays the game. Now, when I studied Mr. Buffett's father, he was talking about leveraging. Okay? And as he taught his son, Warren, how to play the game too. Warren never spends money to buy a business. He uses borrowed money to buy a business and transfer stock. Okay? That's what he does. If you got above the BS and here's your personal life, here's corporate life, everything else, could you use money to buy a business? Okay? You got at $1 earlier, is that correct? You found it's illegal tender, is that correct? Now, if you spend that dollar today, how much do you have left? If you put it in the bank and borrow against it, how much would you have left? If you, you don't know how to count. We're using my calculator. That's a reference of 3 times by 5. Everything is a reference of 3 times by 5. Make sure you write it down. We reference by 3, we times by 5. Okay? 5,000 becomes 15. All right? 5 becomes 75,000. Your life on business will be borrowed money from now on. You will not spend money. Why would you spend money? That means you have no money left. I'm sorry, but the bottom line is you got to maintain a family. You got to maintain a business. You got employees to pay. All right? You got to understand borrowed money is a gift. Use it. Don't abuse it. So again, we have to play the game. We have to play like they do because we're allowed to. I like playing the game. I think I'm the master of it, by the way. And maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But I know one thing. We have to respect the Internal Revenue Service. We have no choice. Because this is where we have to say, yes, sir, no, problem. What do you like me to do? I'll do it. You want extra money? There you go. Okay? Simple. But the greatest gift that book says is a corporation does not pay tax until it makes a profit. Which means you get to pay all the bills first. Now, one of the things you have to do, and we'll talk about it over the weekend, is you make a list of your personal bills in your company business. You only have less than 10 bills for personal. That's it. To maintain your life between house payment and the other bills, it's not hard to do. Okay? You got to figure out that paycheck and add that 20% to it and divide it by 52 weeks. I want you breaking even the rest of your life. Sorry. I want you working for $1 million, billion-dollar company. I want your paycheck to go up when you need it to go up because of the house payment. I want you to balance that. It's called tax balancing. Okay, we're going to do this the right way. We're not going to screw this up. That's no fun. I mean, my house, because I don't have a house, but again, it's not worth $165 million. I mean, what is it, made out of gold? Okay, I mean, sometimes I think over the board is ridiculous. Okay, we do outreach and we have to have a lot of room and space for the crap. When I say crap, my wife's great stuff. All right, you can join the club too. Mickey, what does he do? He doesn't want to pay tax on $1 billion. It's already in the bank. It's in the bank. He doesn't want to pay tax. So what does he do? He borrows against the money, all right, to offset the taxes. So he pays no tax. All right, if Mickey can do it, you can do it too, kind of thing. Doesn't matter if you look at Nike, doesn't matter if you look at Dish, Federal Express. Your goal is, don't you want to be like them? Don't want to join the game? Don't you want to be part of the club? Okay, your goal should be set real high and go get it. If Sam's Club can do it, you can do it. That's your goal. But what is it? It's not branch number now. It's tax ID and division, tax ID division, tax ID division. Branch number to them is subsidiary. Okay? Corp owning corp. No. We're being on Kmart budget. Okay? We got the guy from Gardena who came up with the concept of a division instead because we're in ghetto land. We're playing ghetto because we want to get to rich. Come on. We want to be on a budget. We're Kmart today. Okay? I don't want to spend money until I have to, and I don't want to spend money when I have to. I'm going to leverage the crap out of it. I'm going to outsmart them all. Okay, my goal was, I always had to deal with those Harvard or Yale University or those uppity, crappity, rich kids. I just wanted to rub their nose in it because it's fun. If you can outsmart everybody, can you have fun with that? Okay, and by the way, you're going to outsmart everybody in your life if you just follow through this. You will do better than anybody you've ever known. It's just to follow through. That's all you got to do. Because the key is division tax ID. And your biggest problem is, what are you willing to lose? I don't want to lose anything. Here's the intent. I don't want to lose anything, Your Honor. I want to keep everything I got. Hell, I want world peace too. Don't say hell in the court, sir. This is an actual statement. This is Judge Matz in L.A. All right, I don't want to lose anything, sir. But you drive a Lamborghini, Mr. Reynolds, and I don't. Sir, it's not my fault you're stupid. You called me stupid. I said, I'm sorry. Did I say that aloud? I was thinking it to myself. Okay, the court laughed. He thought it was funny too. Luckily, he had a humor. But again, let's be honest. Are you wanting to lose anything? Never the family. Because when you lose family, you lose everything. Family's everything. Okay? People who get a divorce go marry people like they just got rid of. It's like stupid. You might as well put up with it and learn to bite your tongue, love longer. Learn to figure it out. Okay? But again, that's just an opinion. I'd rather lose a division. All I know is when I got to play chess, it was fun. I like to win. But everybody who plays chess, what do they get? They get checkmate. Again, you never had to screw up since you were 18. Why didn't you do this when you were 18? Didn't know. If you would have done it, could you have done better? 100%. So you could have actually been a millionaire or a billionaire, right? Understand something. Some people don't like the word billion. Okay, the problem is, what's a million? How much is a million? What does it take to make $1 million? All right, so how many thousands? So, all right, now we take $1 million. How do we get to 100 million? Okay, here's the thing. When you invent a product and the product is bought out and you get a royalty to it, and you sit back and all of a sudden they said you just hit billion, what are you supposed to do? Complain? Or enjoy it? So when you multiply things is where the big money comes in. All of you in this room, you'll probably do, if you do what I tell you to do, 5 to 10 million a year. You'll be happy with that. Okay? I wouldn't be happy with it because I want to do more because I can help people more. I have a solution for homeless. I've had it for years, but they don't listen yet. I want to fix that problem because I used to be one of them. Simple. Divisions, multiple functions. Is that a good thing? Divisions, I can disconnect, isolate, incorporate because I knew when blank hit the fan before anyone else. Is that correct? I have the time to disconnect, isolate, incorporate. 5 houses, what do they have to be in? 5 divisions. Do we use the same bank? Yes, but different loans. Never the same loan for multiple properties. You don't tie your own hands. Something screws up, they slip and fall. What do you get to do? Disconnect, isolate, incorporate. Keep the other 4. Is this a numbers game? Does the division get cash and supply credit? So guess what? It's another life, is it not? I like having another life in the closet, don't you? I need a backup and a backup because sometimes this life sucks. But here's your life. If Donald Trump can do this, can you do it? Wells Fargo Bank, their employees steal identity mine twice when I'm in a coma. Those employees, that's called RICO, racketeering wire fraud. They should have went to jail for 50 years. Okay, what did they give Wells Fargo? Slap. Wow, we're going to find you $3 billion. They wrote that off too. So what is it? Again, we get to basically understand this process. So remember, the 3-step that I created for you, always remember what it is. Disconnect, isolate, incorporate, but try to save it. Never bring the pain home. All right? A bank account? I can put basically 12 names on a bank. Okay, but again, that's 12 divisions. The average bank's allowing 6. All right, in the 90s, they fought me left and right because it was, we want you to have separate bank accounts. And the bottom line is, no, I don't want a separate bank account. Why would I want to spread my money thin? I'm trying to build an average balance. You're not letting me do this because you want to make money. And then I went into all the, they told me no. What did I hear? I heard no. The big banks told me no. I did my research. I challenged them. I filed a lawsuit. I had to prove my case. All right, they're a bank. They're allowed to have multiple names on an account. Period. Okay, we won. You now can do it right away. Pop. But then you got to play about the other tax IDs. Your life is pretty simple. It should be automation. Have you done the 60-40 or 80-20 yet? Have you taken the time to figure out your bills coming in every month, go into one account, and that account is paid over time? Is every one of your creditors right now paid over time, bank account added to it, all right, and paperless? If it's not, it needs to be. It has to be that way. You have to know what account has the leftover. That's what you can spend. You got to figure out if you're a 60, 40, 80, 20. Your life has to be boring. You have to know your numbers. Without knowing your numbers, you're not going to make it. It's not possible. Because you're going to steal from Peter to pay Paul. And that we cannot have. The hardest thing for you is to basically believe in Ray Reynolds' system for 1 or 2 years and do every damn thing that has to be done. Period. Okay? Because that 1 or 2 years, if you do it faster, it can be done. That you do what you're told, and you don't like to be told what to do at all. And you stick to that, your life is going to be greater than it's ever been. And you're hearing things you've never heard before, and you've tried to do it for the last 20 years. So you're being forced 6 months to 2 years, shut up, do what you're told to do, obey. And nobody likes that shit. But again, if you find out it works, do you do it? Yes. Okay? So again, if you stay to the course, here's your life. Now, do you have term life insurance? You? No. Okay? You couple back here, you get term life insurance? Okay? Every family needs term life insurance. If I die today, because if my wife kills me, or I die, she gets $1 million check. Okay? Tax-free. We pay $56 a month for my insurance. So understand what that means. All right? Term life insurance equals to your debts. So when you talk to your insurance company, all right, and you're going to get term life, they're going to say how much you want. All right? You tell them, don't let them tell you. If your debts are $1 million, that's how much you need. $600, that's your debts. Your term life equals to your debts. 43 years I've had clients walk up to me and tell me, Ray, my spouse died. Sorry for your loss. They're in a better place anyway, because sometimes this is hell. Next thing is, I have to downsize. It's like, have you not listened? Have you not listened? If I die today, my wife doesn't have to sell her chickens, her house, the trust, all the stuff. Everything's paid for. She gets $1 million. Okay, $1 million, tax-free. She knows what to do. We've had conversations. I've trained her. I left her a letter. I left her a video. Okay, she knows exactly what to do if I died today. Okay, because I will not leave her not knowing what needs to be done. That's why I have a program called Planning to Die. Okay? Okay, it's 10 years. All right, you go as long as you can, and then you renew it every time. Okay, the goal is term life. Do you love the person in your life? When you die, do they want them to have a good life or a bad time and have to downsize? If you don't plan to die, you have just left yourself, basically hurt your family. It doesn't matter how old you are. I've had term life all my life. Okay, the moment I get a wife and the kids, it's in place. Okay, has to equal to the debt. Now, I love MetLife. MetLife was my favorite. Because why? I have a whole life policy. Why do I have a whole life? Everybody in 2008 and 2000, all that time in countrywide, all that BS, and everybody stated income and lying through their teeth and get 125% loan to value crap. That's all it was. I'm telling people, do not do what you're doing. Put the money in a whole life policy. They're paying down their house. Yes.
With a whole life policy, you can borrow against it,
Yes.
tax-free, and you
Keep-
can leverage it.
Yes. The moment, at any given time, all right, that we had a problem. Like, remember, when we're doing info commercials, a commercial could be $25,000 to $50,000 a pop. You got to get a return on that. And we always had locations, different states, and everything else. If I needed money, do I take it off of a card or a line of credit? MetLife. If I called them before 11, I said, I need $100,000 off my policy. You'll have it by 2 o'clock, sir. Thank you. Have a nice day. Is that borrow money? Is it taxable? Now, if I ran the TV show and I made a bunch of money, can I pay it back down? What am I playing with? Borrow money. Okay, so borrow money not being taxable. You have to have whole life. Because when blank hits the fan, do you have money to feed that family that you're responsible for? The biggest problem for a man is his ego. When he can't pay the bills, he does not feel like a man. Okay, a man cannot feel like a man. A man has to feel like a man all the time. Because trying to encourage a man that's down is hard as hell. Okay, because he's got to drag his ass back up. Okay, so again, we cannot allow a man not to feel like a man. Your paycheck, your bills, you have to know your numbers. If you have an apartment or a house, that payment plus electrical, gas, water, and cable. That's it. If you have your personal bills, all right, and you have that, you know what it needs to be. Okay, you've got to get to the point. I'm going to have a corporation worth $5 million this next year. All I need is a paycheck equals this. This is what I'm going to pay myself. Because you're going to get a paycheck. You're going to get a paycheck. You're going to keep as clean as possible. Okay? So your paycheck is working for someone else, that's fine. If not, your paycheck is this. Those bills, adding 20% divided by 52 weeks is your new paycheck. Done. I want you breaking even. Okay? I want you breaking even. I'm sorry. I want your life to be boring when it comes to your credit and your personal life. I want it just to go in rotation. That's all it does. That's all it needs to do. Okay, and that's what you're going to do. Because if you do that, your next thing to do, again, paycheck. The paycheck equals to be that. I like boring. I'm sorry. I love boring. When it comes, I have to worry about the personal bills, the income. That's already been done. I die, she's got the money, the kids are fine, everything's taken care of. She dies, I'm taken care of. We don't own the house, it's in a trust, nobody can take it away, it's upside down. What do you get when you sue me? Diddly squat, kiss my assets, go away. I'm still driving the Lamborghini because it's not mine, it's a company car. Because I'm not dumb enough to register it to me. I bump somebody else, guess what, they sue me. No, they sue the division, not me. Oh well, I'm not a duck. I don't like going quack quack. Your choice. You have to have this as routine. Have to have routine. Shelf Corp. One of you got one. I told you it was a waste of money. Shelf Corp you don't need. You never need it in your life. Plus it's a lie. It's not really been yours. You're going to say something on a credit application and swear you've been in business for 10 years. Under, penalty of perjury. Good. You're going to go to jail. Congratulations. Okay, Shelf Corps, I'm sorry, as far as I'm concerned, if I was the attorney going after you, I would prove flat out they're a fraud. Because you filled out an application that said you've been in business for that long. Is that correct? That's a lie. I do not want to lie. I want to tell the truth. I got through every audit they put me through, 100%. And the last one says, I can't believe this resolution said you admitted you screwed up and had it notarized. Yes, sir. Because I want to make sure. He goes, why would you do this? Because I know there'd always be a turd like you. That's not nice, right? I have to be prepared. I am a trendsetter. I am an innovator. I will create something that does not exist. And the world will attack me for it. And the reality is I've got 17 million millionaire clients and 16 billionaires. And you could be next, but you have to stay to the course. If you stay to this course, and I don't care if it takes 2 years, you're better off than you've ever been for all the years you tried, and now look where you're going. Okay, you got nothing to lose. The only thing you can do is screw this up and believe in somebody else's blah, blah, blah. Nevada. Before the coma, I was the largest registered agent in the world. I sold 10 times more Nevada Corps than anybody in history. One of you used my office. I used to own the building in Nevada, and you saw that was your address. I used to own the building. It's a registered agent's address, okay? So again, all right, I will tell you flat out, you incorporate in your own state. You're not profitable. Everybody goes to Nevada. I don't care what everybody does. You run your race. You're not taxable till you're what? Profitable. Why would you spend money for Nevada to file it, a registered agent fee, $450 a year, mailing fee and all that money, you haven't made any money. Does it make sense? Don't waste money. Where did I come from? Gardena. What are we in Gardena? We're on a budget until we get out of the ghetto, okay? Anybody ever been there? Sucks. Okay, so understand. We're going to create the golden goose. Nevada, never. When you're in the profit zone, what do we get? LLC Nevada. We're going to create a paper trail. Today, if you wrote a check, and who's got an account at B of A, pays a bill or a credit card at B of A or Chase or any bank? You all do, right? You should look at the statement. Hopefully it's automation. On the statement, it says P.O. Box. You ever notice you have to mail your checks to P.O. boxes? Out of state. Where they receive the money is where they're subject to the tax. I want you to understand, you're going to do what they do, what you get to do. Okay, you're not circumventing your state, ever. Corporation. So again, you get to play. Corporation, your own state. You have to. I want you to understand, you're going to create a paper trail to a Nevada LLC, because when you invent something, trade name, trademark, copyright, or whatever it is, who's going to own the rights? The LLC. All right, here's the problem with most companies. They have their corporation, they own their copyrights and their patents. They do business. What do they lose in the bankruptcy? All their rights. By the way, if you looked at bankruptcy of Chapter 11 right now, any corporation that's in bankruptcy and they had trade names, trademarks, and copyrights, you could actually buy it while they're in bankruptcy. You could license it back to them. Okay? Again, opportunity, you create it. That means that that company from the bankruptcy, we cannot put our eggs in one basket. It's not acceptable. The entities are allowed to do. We have to master DBA. What's a DBA? A DBA of you is a sole proprietor. You understand this, right? That means you're still a duck. A DBA of a corporation is what? A division. The division is the duck. I'm no longer the duck. C Corp, closed. S, single filing. Okay, from there, LLC, LLP, nonprofit professional corp called PC. Again, this is your only thing you're allowed to do. This is it. This is your list. You're allowed to do, period, to do anything you want to do. Number one, no, because I don't want to be a duck. Number two, C Corp. Why do I want to be a C Corp? It's a closed corporation. It's privately held, privately owned. This means, all right, that stock is a hot potato. If I am sued personally, deposition, you own any stock. If they sue the corporation, they pierce the veil and come after you. Either way, we're a duck. Is that correct? So we have to write down a resolution of correction, a resolution that says we vote and elect to suspend our stock. I hope you brought a stock kit if you had one, because we're going to go through this here. That's your Bible of your business. That stock kit, when you suspend the stock in court, you're allowed to tell the truth. You own the corp? No, you can't own a corp. You own any stock? No. The word is no. If you did not suspend it, you own it. What happened to your company? You're starting over. That's no fun. So again, credit. Stock is suspended always. S Corp. Everybody seems to love an S Corp a lot of times, a lot of reasons. Okay? But the problem with an S Corp, as far as I'm concerned, is you, because you file one tax return, that's okay, but you have to tell everybody it's you. Okay? You disclose, you pierce your own veil because you're an S Corp. S Corp for marketing, good. S Corp for doing business, stupid. S equals stupid, in my opinion. For whatever it's worth, you got to do what makes sense to you. Again, in your stock kit, in your book, in the front section, it talks about the SS4. Then it shows you the 12 to 44, which is to convert C to S, S to C. You can do whatever you want, but if you tell everybody it's you, who are they going to go after? I'm afraid to be broke. I do not want to bring the pain home. What's an LLC for? As far as I'm concerned, an LLC, if it's Dr. Laura CPA, that's fine. Any other time, it's where? It's Nevada. The LLC has liability, does it not? It's limited liability corporation, but I don't want it to do business. I don't want it to do business. If that stock is issued to an LLC, okay, now the answer is you don't own the stock, is that correct? If I have a lease, loan, and management agreement, all right, I get to charge a lease fee, loan, and management agreement, correct? If I own the trade name, trademark, okay, can I license it here? Am I building a paper trail? You see, I want to absorb all the money in all the C Corps around the globe. I want them to break even. So how do I get the money to Nevada legitimately? There's a fee, lease, loan management, trade name, trademark. I have the ability, it owns the stock, does it not? It owns the rights of everything. So we get to pull out the money and pull fees. At the same time, if I have a nonprofit in that same state, nonprofit, what am I going to do? I'm going to give back to the school, the church, and the kids. If I give, let's see, pay tax or donate to the school, what would you rather do? Okay? One of my clients, and I don't like him, he's not a nice guy, he knows I don't like him. He donated $150 million about 3 years ago to the School of Irvine. He only did it for one reason, because he offset his taxes. Everybody treats him like a hero. He's a hero, he gave him the money. He goes into a restaurant, they give him free food. Everywhere he goes, he loves that. All right, he goes, Ray, I know you don't like me. I said, I don't like you because you're not a nice guy. All right, if you ever talk to somebody who's really just not nice, and he likes being an SOB on purpose? This is one. He loves it. All right, he thinks it's fun. So again, you offset the taxes. So the goal is LLC Nevada. LLC. It's driven by a membership certificate, a member, all right, managing member. If an LLC was sued, would they ask you, the managing member? Would they ask you? You would say yes, if it was sued. Then they go, who paid for the setup? Who paid for this? Can they dance into 20 questions and basically say, you're the duck? What if it never does business? What if it only holds money? What if it took that dollar and you put $1,000 here? You put $10,000 here, and you left it there. But every time you needed money, you borrowed against it. And you borrowed money to buy that McDonald's, and you paid it back. Here's borrowed money. Then you bought that Wendy's, and you did the same thing. You bought that Taco Bell, did the same thing. You bought this house or this apartment complex. It's like everybody who's on the American greed should have took all that money, bought fast food restaurants and hotels. They got to pay their people back. Instead, they rip people off instead. The goal is, again, you have to realize the LLC in Nevada, all right, will become the bank, the parent company. Yes.
So when you borrow money from the LLC, you have to pay it back with interest, with market interest, or does it matter?
You have to ask the board permission, sir. Is it a straight note, interest-free, or is there interest with it? Okay, I'm going to charge interest because I want to suck out more money. Okay? But again, it's your choice. You're the board. You ask yourself that question. Okay? So money's fun. Okay? You get back to Nevada. Because why? Who's going to be the bank? Yes, sir. Anything that's taxable. Profit zone means if you made more money than the bills and you're on your tax return of that corporation is going to pay tax because it made money. Now here's the balance. Remember, the IRS says if you lose money for 5 years, they can shut you down. Okay? They're not supposed to let you. It's in the books. It says you cannot carry a loss in a business for 5 years and basically live high on the hog and carry a loss. Okay? Because something's wrong there. So they can shut it down. Your goal, like I said, we have to respect the IRS. We have to realize we have to respect always. Our goal is profit zone. If we have to pay a tax as corporate tax as profit and loss, then you didn't spend enough money.